Yeah, but that's it.
They're just not quite as paper cow.
And they can't get there anymore as well because they got like an 8-inch move. It's just,
which is fucking fast. That's the same as a Harlequin.
It's not that fast though because they can't charge. It's like say you went, hey, they can charge after they advance. That's great. I know he's turned it on.
Priorities, Pally.
Yeah.
Hi.
Well, welcome to the Bureau of Barely Acceptable Content podcast. With me, once again, is Shadowfire Justin. And...
Oh, go on. Think on the fly. Go on. Quick.
Super Galaxy Jared.
I got 2 names. You don't count.
And, of course, me, your host, Tyrant Pauli.
The Witch King.
I know Paul's going to laugh at that.
Yeah, Paul.
Alright.
Yeah, just a little shout out to one of our listeners. Paul, you suck.
And there you have it.
Yeah, no, that was.
Yeah, that's the end of the podcast.
That's
See?
now enshrined. Okay, so just to clarify.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Just to clarify, what I was talking about there was the Rust Stalkers for the AdMech in 8th edition, who have an 8-inch move, yes, and they advance 6 inches, possibly, yes, but they can't charge after they do that, and they have no ranged attacks. So, what's their use?
Their use is using them with the Lucius Forge World, and you just deep strike the fuckers.
But I've already painted them so pretty.
Yeah. They're in camouflage.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't be able to take Belisarius' Call with it.
You can, separate detachment. He still buffs you.
That's fair enough. Well, no, he doesn't, because he only buffs Mars stuff, doesn't he? No, I need to read that. Look, I got more.
Anyway, do we have another topic to start off with, or do we just get into new? Our weeks.
It's our weeks, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
What have you done this week, Pally?
Let me see. What did I do? I played Monster Hunter some more.
Nice.
Haven't gotten through what's the thing called? Low rank yet, which is all like the base starting area. Well, not starting area, but starting point where you just go through the whole thing, hunting all the monsters before you get to high rank, which you do it again, but more difficult monsters.
Okay.
Only monster I've had trouble with is Rathalos, but that's only because like half the time I get caught in a bloody combo and I can't get out of it.
Monsters do combos?
Well, they can like chain together moves that, when put together, they kind of make it so that it's very difficult to get out of the situation. So you
in
can
play this game.
Do you start off? You basically play round once and then you do it again against harder ones.
Yeah.
That sounds really repetitive.
Well, that's what Monster Hunter is. But then you get more. But it's kind of like how World of Warcraft does the loot system where you get some. Well, you grind, yeah. But then you can make stuff from the stuff from which you kill them with. Well, no, I mean what you get from them is made into armor and weapons. And you upgrade them by killing harder ones or killing them relatively enough to get the required materials. Like when I killed the Rathalos the first time, I got everything I wanted out of it to make a new weapon, except one webbing. I have not been able to get it afterwards. And I've like died 2 times and killed it 2 times after the first time, and I still haven't got it. But I probably should try capping it. But anyway, I do like also the difference in our like the volume when I speak and you speak. We're just looking at the bloody recording and voice-wise. Like you say something like actually you no, I had to actually finish my week off. So tried out the new rework of Swain in League of Legends.
What do you think?
I like it.
And there you have it.
Now, like they separated his never move into like 2 moves now. Which one is the Visions of Empire, which is his W, which gives you vision like for 3,500 yards around him.
Okay.
So it's pretty much like, oh, are they over there? I'll use it.
But that's 35 Teemos long.
What it does also is slow them down for a little bit, so puts a slow on them, and gives you a vision of him for a little while, and gives you a soul fragment for each one you hit, which powers up your ultimate.
Sounds like it does a lot.
As someone that
Yeah, it
plays
does.
Quinn, I'm not cool with that. Why is it better than hers?
His Q is just lightning, which is in 5 separate arcs. They do more damage, of course, if they all hit a single target.
Yeah.
And they also extend themselves if they kill something.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a very nice pokey thing
Yeah.
to do.
So what, you like aim at a minion to poke someone behind it?
Yeah. Well, as long as you
that.
kill it, and also it restores your mana 3% if you kill one.
Jesus.
Then
That's
he's
pretty cool.
then the second part. Well, the other part they separated Never Move into, which is his E, which is still called Never Move. But this time, it goes into like a skill shot, which also returns, just like Ari's Q or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And but on the return path, it roots players or well characters,
That's cool.
Yeah.
and then his passive is every single time someone's rooted or stunned. I think knockup works as well. He can pull them towards you and grab a soul fragment as well, which heals him.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's scary actually.
Then his R, which is Ascension or something, he slows down a little bit, but he gets a area effect circle around him, and if he sucks in a certain amount of health from characters around him, then he can do his big blowout in that area, which does a lot of damage and whatnot,
Oh, that's cool.
and it doesn't cost any mana to do.
Oh, so
And
he's very teamfighty now.
He also does more damage depending on how many soul fragments you have. So maximum is 5, so you really usually want all of them.
Yeah.
And you can only do it after you've gotten at least one soul fragment.
That's cool.
So yeah, I've had more success with him on top lane these days for some reason, but it's usually because it's usually against melee people, and they are much more easy to deal with. So it's pretty much a kind of a Vlad-esque.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
a little
Swain
bit
and
different.
Vlad are always quite similar in their play area.
Yeah,
So,
but except
cool.
you don't. Well, he's still mana hungry in the early game, but because his his ultimate doesn't take any mana. It doesn't have the problem where I'm just gonna pop my R and I'm just gonna sit here and I'll just get the help from all the minions while
yeah.
I stand here and do things.
I haven't actually played any League this week, except for 10 minutes of saving Jared's ass in a game.
What?
No, just putting out the difference in.
We're looking at the
Levels.
screen of the levels, and Jared's really quiet.
Sorry, I should talk louder. Justin, what you
That's
just
more
said
like
there
it.
was a lie.
It was not.
Was a lie.
I got to his. I got told to play the game for him, and in the about 10, maybe 15 minutes I was playing the game, we not only won it, but I also got 2 Barons and 2 Elder Drakes, and me and Paul won the game. Didn't
Paul
win it
and
while
I.
you were there, did you?
You won it at 50 minutes. Like, I was in the process of winning it.
For like 40.
Yes, but it's not my fault that
The other
Paul
team
got a
were
little
really
bit tilted
bad.
off a Teemo.
Timo is very tilty,
He's very tilty.
but at the same
And
point,
that Teemo was exceptionally tilty.
yeah, he went full AP. It's gonna do it.
Give him tilt proof afterwards.
I did.
Alright.
The best bit is, despite the fact they had a really quite good full AP Teemo, Jared built no mage resist.
Because
Apart
I
from
had no
boots.
problem killing the Teemo. He kept trying to be sneaky by going in the bush and like staying still for a second so he gets invisible and I can't hit him. What he doesn't realise is my R has a knockback.
And what you didn't realise is if you upgrade your trinket to the R, you can then kill the shroom so you can gank easier.
Grew the trigger into the what? What?
And that is what a noob sounds like. No, you know your little trinket? Like you press 4 and you get a ward? You
Oh,
can
right,
upgrade
yeah, yeah.
that into a red version, which doesn't put a ward down, but shows you enemy.
Yes, but I was also dealing with like every other lane, and I only went into the top lane to kill him, and I did usually. So
We'll check this with Paul, see what he says.
Alright.
I'm
I
sure
probably-
he'll back me up.
I probably should also mention I played some Warhammer Fantasy yesterday with Matt against his Skaven. Oh yeah, Matt and Ollie are not here this week. Once again.
you might have been able to tell.
Hallelujah.
But yeah, no, I'm not going to save him. No, I think, Jared, you have the best attendance record so far?
I have attended all of them
Yeah,
So
exactly.
is Powley. So you
because
can't really say
I
it's the best.
care about our listeners.
I would have attended all of them, except I wasn't told about the second.
Oh,
So
Yes, you were.
I wasn't told by Powley.
He was told by me.
Yeah, that doesn't count as listening to words.
Sure. So anyway, I finally beat his Skaven, which is quite fun because I haven't been able to do that with my Tomb Kings at least.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that? I thought Tomb Kings were a pretty strong army.
Depends, because like after you lose your Hierophant, which is usually like your toughest priest,
Yeah.
which is your magic user,
user.
everyone else gets crumbled, which means you have to take a leadership test, and you, however much you go over it by, you lose models and wounds amount.
Yeah.
You lose leadership test wise, which means like you're constantly having a dot every single turn. Like the end of the turn that you lose him first time, and then they start off every turn afterwards for you.
Yeah.
So you have a constant timer on how long you can still be in the fight before everything goes to hell.
And it's also quite annoying because obviously Tomb Kings kind of rely on having the fear effect to
No.
push down your enemy's weapon skill, and Skaven just go, I'm leadership 10, don't care.
Exactly. I was able to outmaneuver him with my chariots because I separated him into 2 units now of 4.
You did mention last week that you were probably going to try that.
Yeah.
So it worked for you.
Yeah, it would work better. But I kind of wanted, but the reason I kind of struggle is because Tomb Kings cannot march, therefore their movement is kind of limited. So, kind of way to counter that is to get Nekikara's lore signature spell, which is to move everything within 12 by 12 inches forward, or whatever direction you want, which is nice because that heals everyone in that range as well.
Yeah.
But it's only D3+1 Fallen Warriors.
Huh.
It's not as good as the Vampire one.
Yeah.
Also, the movement one doesn't put you into combat like the Vampire one
that's
does,
gutting.
which is really annoying. So you can't really get... Oh, it's raining again.
Hailing.
Okay. Anyway,
Super fun.
so yeah, what you have to do is kind of be very careful with how you manage things. Like my Necropolis Knights, because I just got those guys, were able to hold because they have 3 wounds and a 3-up save, and they're the only ones that have that.
Yeah.
Against poison rats again, which I hate.
You always end up with the poison, don't you?
Yeah.
I get to fight the regen dudes.
Though my War Sphinx didn't do much in the game because I probably didn't use him as well as I could have.
I think with that you kind of just want to throw it into one of his infantry.
Well, I threw it at the Rat Ogres, which are strength 5 and toughness 8.
Toughness 8?
Yeah.
The toughness 4?
No, I mean my War Sphinx.
Oh. Did I say toughness 8 rounds? Fucking hell.
No, no. I'm strength 5 with the War Sphinx and strength 4 with the guys on top of it.
Yeah.
But they're strength 5 in the charge because they got spears.
Yeah. I'd use that for going after like his basic bitch rat blobs, just because they're going to struggle to hurt it, and you can just tie them.
Yeah,
in
but they
later.
just win by bloody resolution.
That's why you flank charge.
Yeah, true. Actually, yeah, that's probably the only way of doing it. By the way, you do not lose steadfast when you get rear or side charged.
Yeah, you don't lose steadfast, you just lose your rank bonus.
Yeah.
Which is why it works against Skaven, because they lose their additional leadership.
Oh yeah, they do, but they kind of still. No, they get.
They
no,
lose-
but they use their base leadership
Yeah,
still.
so that's the thing, they use their base leadership, which is usually like 7,
Yeah,
but they're not leadership 10,
exactly. Yeah.
which is quite the boost. And then, because that effectively counts as you doing 3 extra kills
Yeah.
that you're not actually having to do.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway. Yeah, I won that. That was fun. My Casket of Souls came in really useful this time. Because I was like, I rolled a 2 and a 3 for magic. So Matt got 3 dice, and then I got 3 from the casket, and I also channeled. So I had like 7 to his 3.
That's good.
So I was able to do more magic because of that. So he couldn't counter it as much. Also helps so much when that Tomb Guard unit is in combat that I can do only hex and augments.
Yeah.
Because I can still do them when I'm in combat. It's useful. But anyway, that's pretty much my week.
The past 5 minutes have just kind of flown over my head quite a bit.
Yeah, that was alright.
Yeah,
What do you do in your week then?
What did I do in my week? Worked a lot. But outside of work, what did I do? I played a lot of League, I've got to be honest.
It's ridiculous how much more levels you have than me.
Yeah, it's a little bit funny, but the new Lunar event is just like...
Oh yeah, we have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Wait, is that happening already?
Yeah.
No, it comes the week, so it's more of our experience with it rather than a news article. So go
I
ahead.
haven't had a chance to play, so I didn't know.
Oh yeah,
No,
no,
just constantly.
I think the question was the event was on. Yeah.
Oh.
There's 3 new skins:
Yeah.
Lunar Guardian, Warwick, Nasus, and Lux. Because why wouldn't you give Lux another skin?
How many does she have?
I think like
All of
13. Yeah, all of them works too. To be fair, she's got so many.
Uh,
And nothing beats Star Guardian, so I don't know why they didn't just stop after doing that.
well, there's that
I-
one that changes.
Elementalist.
Yeah, exactly.
I like
yeah.
that one.
Boring.
Yeah, but I
Over,
play Spirit Guard Udia. I like it when it changes.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
it is bloody expensive though compared to everything else.
Yeah, I think it's like £18 for a skin or
I
something.
admit, I'm very tempted to start playing Sona just so I can have DJ Sona.
DJ Sony. Though.
Just so you can be like, no, I want to be chilled at the moment. Let's swap that to some nice cool jazz. It's like, oh, actually, we're going to go in dubstep. Wah, 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 wah.
Can't remember how much Bloodlord Vlad was.
I think he's just an epic, so he's usually around the 1350 RP mark.
Yeah, I think he used to be like he's just below that, but he used to be like the best skin at one point.
He is still pretty baller.
Yeah, I think, but he's like he hasn't got a recoil animation that's special. I think, which everyone else has now, or I don't know.
Yeah, some of the old epic skins just they didn't.
Yeah,
I think
effort in.
the best recoil animation is Pulsefire Caitlyn.
What does she do? Oh, she puts on a random hat every time.
She
doesn't
pulls
she?
a random hat out, like a Teemo hat or Fiora helmet or whatever. And it's just cool every time.
You get so happy about that. It's really weird.
It's a Teemo hat.
Anyway, lunar event.
Yeah, so the lunar events happen. So the missions have been up, which has
The
just been
missions?
the missions have been just providing a lot of XP, blue essence, lunar, like
Revel
there's-
tokens.
Yeah, revel tokens. So there's silver revel tokens and there's gold revel tokens.
There's no point in getting the gold ones unless
The
you
gold
want.
one he might be interested in because you play Garen.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have Warring Kingdoms, Garen?
Don't want it.
No, there's a golden chroma you can get for it. Other than that, there's every other Warring Kingdoms skin now has a golden chroma you can buy.
Oh, you get that for
bar Xin Zhao.
Oh, what the?
Yeah, I know. Like the only guy
I've
that is
got it on
actually
Jarvan.
Asian.
I could have it on Javan. Because I impulse bought that skin.
barring Jarvan as well, I think.
Oh, for
Again, I think it's like
screw you, Riot.
I think it's Vi, Caitlyn.
Neither of them have Warring Kingdom skins.
They do now.
They do now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got the bloody Corky one from.
Oh, Corky.
Oh, yeah, he had one.
I haven't seen Corky in games much lately.
Not really meta.
He's only ever played when he's suddenly got a massive power spike and then he just disappears because he's crap. And then boom, he's back.
Yeah. Outside of that, I watched Dunkirk,
Okay.
which is an interesting film. I mean, as a history student, like it's interesting because it's history put on screen.
Yeah.
But I found it visually it's stunning.
Yeah.
The audio on it is stunning because Spitfires and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff, and like I can see why people went absolutely nuts to watch it in IMAX.
Sure.
However, like the film itself was not what I was expecting in terms of what you'd expect from a war film these days.
What do you mean by that?
Well, so like there were like 400,000 people on that beach,
Sure.
and the story brings it down to characters because that's how you write a good story.
Yeah.
So
From different perspectives.
Yeah, it follows 3 different perspectives. One is an old man in a boat with 2 kids. One is his son, and one is this guy who's just like, I'm going to go help the people, and it's all very...
But they know him from before.
Yeah, they know him from before, but it's very touching. But so they follow him, and he's just a normal man trying to help people out. And it's
Well,
nice.
that was when all the boats were ordered to go. Yeah.
Well, no, they tried
Well, not ordered,
to...
but-
they tried to, like... The government tried to... What's the word when you take something like...
Requisition.
Requisition. Or commandeer, yeah, both work. Literally, those 2 words work. So they tried to take the boats and commandeer them so they could go over there themselves with trained personnel, but then others also just decided to kind of just go and do something themselves. And, British spirit, very touching. Then it follows Tom Hardy, who's a pilot in a Spitfire, who for some reason at the... I'll get to it. Right at the end, there's a little scene which bothers me.
Okay.
And then it follows a young lad who arrives at the beach, and it's all very like.
Well, part of the army who's retreating.
Yeah, part of the army's retreating and stuff, and like, he then spends the entire film trying to get the F off the beach.
Yeah.
And in various ways, either ruins other people's attempts, or his attempts are ruined by some kind of Deus Ex Machina from the German army. every single boat he gets on is the one that's immediately targeted next. And he's just like, you are the bad luck. Just stay on the beach, dude. You are killing people around you.
Bury yourself in the sand. And wait.
Just stay there. You'll be fine. But he just keeps trying and everyone keeps dying around him.
We do see kind of Kenneth Branagh's. He's the admiral or whatever.
Oh yeah, he's the Grand Admiral or Rear Admiral or something, and he's fantastic. I loved him.
Yeah.
He was great, and right at the end, obviously the British Army does get away. Just in case you didn't know.
It's the British Expeditionary Force.
Spoilers.
Not the British Army. They're different.
Okay, fair enough.
History.
But then Bran is like, I'm going to stay here for the French, and it's all like, oh, British spirit, love it. But the issue I had with it was the fact that there's like the whole thing is there's 300,000 people on this beach, and we need 400,000, 300,000, and we need to get them the hell off. And then it goes and shows you maybe 150 people max in the film, and it's just kind of like, show the scale of it. Like, I want to see the fact that there are so many people crammed onto this beach that are just scared and terrified, but I see about 500 max.
To be fair, if you're buying that many Spitfires to fly around and crash and stuff, or building them, you're probably not able to afford the extras as well. Or the CGI to do it.
Like Lord of the Rings did it. Like,
Lord
there
of the
were like
Rings.
50,000 people in that horse charge.
Yeah, and it had a really big budget because they didn't have to spend on much else.
Yeah, true. But then it's Chris Nolan. Like, Chris Nolan could just go, give me more money and I'll make you a great film. And people would be like, okay.
Well, slap him in the face.
No, if he's slapping money out of their hands.
There we go. Now
Oh,
this
that.
was not what I do.
I thought it was something
Making
different.
it rain. Making it rain.
And they'd all be masturbating in his face. This is what you get when you want more money, you bitch.
So he could get money. Like, he's Chris Nolan. Like, he's
Sure.
made enough off the Batman film. Surely he could put some of that into his other films. But
He's an artist. He's not going to put his money into something.
yeah, true, fair enough. But still, that's one of the main drawbacks I had was the fact that there was
It didn't represent the scale.
But it did scale in terms of like when the plane was,
Yeah.
they were doing those panoramic shots. The plane was flying over the ocean. The ocean looked, as it is, massive, and the scale of that was beautiful.
Sure.
Wait, so
But
what you're
then
saying
the human life scale was just
Not
tipped
there.
off. Yeah.
Okay.
is when they flew over the ocean and showed a picture of the ocean
Yeah, but you know how
looked
some
like an ocean.
Yeah, but you know how some films don't really like translate it well enough. Like, they kind of focus on the planes. The plane looks huge, but this one they were like, okay, we're just going to take a shot about like 700 meters away, so the plane
Well,
looks tiny over the
Here's
ocean.
another reason why you're trying to compare this to Lord of the Rings.
I'm trying to compare it.
Walking
Well,
through mountain ranges, camera swooping around from miles away. Oh look, there they go. That's massive. Yeah.
Yeah, but then it zoomed in. This one just stayed here, and the plane flew off in the distance. And you're like, that's a really big scale, actually.
Maybe it was not a Spitfire. No one noticed from this far.
Yeah, but okay, so that's one of the drawbacks of the film. And then right at the end, it ruined it a little bit for me when like,
Spoilers.
okay, yeah, spoilers. don't listen past this point if you care too much about Dunkirk.
Skip forward like 5 minutes, shall we say? I'll actually time this. So.
No,
actually,
just skip forward like a minute.
Yeah, let's say a minute.
Okay,
or
Do it
two.
in 10
so
second
1 minute,
bursts.
boom, I'm going to go right now. Okay, right, so right at the end of the film, the kid comes back, they're on the train, and the weird coward who for some reason survived is with him. And they're talking about the plane, and then Tom Hardy's landed his plane, burnt it up, and there's a lovely image of like Tom Hardy waiting to be captured by the Germans, and his plane is burning. But he's like saluting, stood straight, because he's British and stiff upper lip and all that. And it's a great image. And then suddenly, right in the last 5 seconds, it's like, this is a great image to end on. Let's cut back to the dude. And then ends. And it's just like, why was there that weird disconnect right at the end? Like, they just cut back to the kid in the train, and I don't know why they did that. Right, spoilers gone.
Alright. I did like how it's a little bit different war story than usual. Like, oh, here we're winning this war and we'll get some resistance, but we're gonna win eventually. Well, this is more like we're retreating and we have to get the hell out of here because we're losing badly.
It was a very weird period in history as well, because like the kid on the train was saying, he was just like, I'm really like, oh, we're gonna get like insulted, stuff thrown at us, we're never going to be treated right again. And the British
Because you
public,
lost.
yeah, because they were retreating. They
Yeah.
had lost the war essentially. Like, the entire country at that point was just like, we've lost. We're just going to have to defend our homeland, and then we're going to lose anyway because the German machine is going to march over us.
Right.
But they didn't do that. They turned around and they supported these men, boys essentially. They had just come back from a horrible experience, and it's a lovely period in history. In a weird,
To be fair, we have usually found that people coming back from France do need that support.
Oh god.
Also, do like the fact
Trying to
that
raise
you don't see any Germans in the film, like the German army, other than at the end, and they're blurred.
Yeah, Yeah, no, because it was very focused on the British soldiers.
Yeah.
They didn't want to make it Saving Private Ryan,
No.
like, which they could have done, to be fair. But no, they went straight
could've
up.
done
Because
Saving
even
Private
when
Ryan.
he was running from the Germans right at the start, they weren't.
You never
there.
saw him, no.
You just saw the bullet holes.
Yeah, exactly. You just saw the gunfire coming from the location. You never saw him.
That's very interesting.
Does this impact onto your lack of human scale as well? It was a one-sided thing.
I don't know. I didn't notice. That's a good point to bring up. I didn't actually notice it, but it certainly put the focus on the British soldiers thinking about it. So, but it didn't impact on the human scale. More so the fact that they actually made a design, like an artistic choice to make it just about British people, and not have some
Is that or someone in editing really fucked up?
maybe.
No.
But even with the planes,
Yeah.
like they didn't really like you saw the shots, but there was never actually a pilot that popped out, even though for some reason the two British pilots did,
Yeah.
which is weird. But yeah,
It'd be kind of cool to see the credits, see if they actually name German army guys in it.
No, they just probably have German Soldier 1, German Soldiers 2 or something.
Yeah, I was just wondering because that might mean there was like extra scenes that just didn't make it in. Or
No, it's a very... It seems like a deliberate choice to not include German soldiers in there, but it's fair
I
enough.
think it's a good choice actually. Thinking
Yeah.
about it, because what?
a little bit racist.
No shit. Yeah, outside of watching Dunkirk, which is obviously actually quite a large topic. What else did I do with my week? Outside the league, outside of that, Justin and I.
Yes.
Justin and I got it. Yeah. We have started designing a 40k army
Two
in
armies.
8th edition. Sorry.
Sure.
For the double tournament that is happening in June. And
Where is it?
Warhammer World.
Yeah, it's at Warhammer World. It's
Yeah.
it's centered at the Nottingham HQ, and it's 1,000 points apiece.
We think
We think.
the event pack's not actually out yet.
Yeah.
We're going off what the one for this current weekend is, assuming it'll be the same. Because I think last year I went, it was like 950 last year or something.
No, it was 1,000.
Was it?
Yeah. You made up a 2,000 point list, and each had 1,000.
Okay, yeah, so it's probably going to be 1,000.
Yeah,
So we're going with that at the moment. We'll see what changes.
and by the time the event pack comes out and we're actually at Warhammer World, Justin might have finalised his army.
I have finalised my army.
No, you don't. You have ADHD about this. Like, I swear to God. Every 2 seconds he's got a different idea. If you look at my Facebook chat, it looks like a 5-year-old
Wait, you're asking
several shiny
You're,
things around.
you're asking our viewers to actually go on Facebook and look your chat up about this.
I'm
Well,
not
it's a
asking,
private
I'm just
chat,
saying
so they
if
can't
you
even do
did.
it.
Okay.
Basically, I had one
Be
idea
precise with your language.
where we were thinking we'd do a joint Unari force. And we went, oh yeah, joint Unari, that'd be fun. And then I thought, it's going to be a bit boring. I might try something else. And I was just looking through my options, and apparently discussing this with Jared was a bad idea.
It's not discussing it though, because you're like, I'll do this, and then 5 minutes later you're like, hey, wait, I'll do this, and then 5 minutes later you're like, I could do this.
I was coming up with
And
ideas.
each one was a completely different army, so I'd have to change my army to cope with it. And you were just like, oh, I'll just do this, I'll just do this, I'll just do this, and there's me having a breakdown, just like, this isn't going to work.
You hadn't made your mind up yet either.
I actually had though, and now I have a completely different army to what I originally had, which I'm going to have to paint.
You would have had to paint more in the other army. You've got some of your Admech painted.
I'm actually not, because I've done the model count. I'm going to have to paint a lot more now.
Well, good. You need the practice.
Oh,
But yeah, basically what we've decided in the end, Jared is going to do Adeptus Mechanicus and Skittery.
you said that the weirdest way. They're just Adeptus Mechanicus now as well, because there's no distinction between Skittery.
There is in
and...
my-
Skitari.
It's Skittery.
Skitari.
I know it's Skitari, but we call him Skittery.
Fine.
It sounds
'Cause they
funny.
skitter.
Just like Custodes.
Custards.
Custards, yeah.
Golden Boys.
But and I'm going to use a Primaris force, which
Chad Marines.
yeah, Chad Marines. But I've still got to decide on a chapter for my gun pigs, and because yeah, see, if you
Gun
play-
pigs.
if you play 30k, you'd know that. But yeah, so I'm going to pick a chapter and then get them all painted up, and then we're going to start doing some little playtesting. Realise we've massively fucked up our lists, and probably try again.
Yep. I think my list is fine, thinking about it. Like,
I think your list is probably going to have the most changes.
I really doubt that.
I don't.
I hope not.
Maybe I think your list is going to have the most changes because you're not going to finish painting your list.
Hey, I'm going to be working my hardest at it, but you know why?
You were gonna end up
you know
using
why
your
I can make a
Sicarans.
good start on it now? Because you've actually decided on an army, and I don't have to change mine now.
Yeah.
But I bet you will end up using your Sicarans just because they're already painted. You'll get to like 3 days before the event and go, shit, I didn't paint something, Sicarans.
No, because the infiltrators are better.
Yeah.
Like, a lot better.
And then you'll have Sicarans with them.
And my infiltrators are half painted already, so I can just finish them up and I don't have to worry about it.
Have you
Because-
just seen your infiltrators? They're silver and black. That's not half painted.
There's a bit of red on there. That's 3 colours. Boom, I'm good to go.
You might want to revise the Warhammer World Standards painting. Besides, you've got to paint Belendarius. You've got to
I've got to
paint
paint
your onagers.
so much about Sarius. There is so much to him.
Yeah, his multicolour coat. Yeah.
Yeah.
His multicolored
He-
coat.
he's
No,
a
it's not the multicolored coat.
It's the checks
It's-
and stuff.
It's the every little detail is a different colour on him, and he has got so much detail. He's such a busy model.
That would actually be really cool. Do like hazard checks around the edge of his cloak. That would look pretty cool.
Hell no.
That would literally be like him just there going, step on my cloak, I fucking end you. I can imagine him being like that.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, he's a. You know,
He's apparently being shoehorned into one of the latest heresy books just to prove he was there.
Okay.
really.
He's literally got a mention of, oh, and there's Belisarius Cull.
Oh, hi, guy.
But isn't he just a tech priest at that point?
No, he helped the Emperor on the Primarch project and further through. And
Sure.
that's how he knew how to make the Primaris Marines, is he remembered all this shit, but doesn't remember how he remembers it.
Well, I'm guessing he had an
Well-
external memory unit.
No,
Basically, I
at
think-
this point they've actually confirmed that he is basically an AI being supported by every other copy of his mind he's ever made.
To be fair, they did, in The Beast Arises, the fabricated general in that has an AI of himself.
Oh, yeah.
But what I think is basically happening is you've got Black Library going, we're writing the Heresy series, it's really cool. And
He's
you
very
got,
popular. He's making us so much
you
money.
got GW there, and they just pinned the writers down and started slapping them in the face, just going, add him in, make it canon, do it, justify our mistakes.
People are making fun of us on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, did you hear about the Forge World thing that happened? Like, they got a comment, when the director of Forge World was caught saying something like, House Escher is, like, violent and whatnot, and they're women as well, or something like that. And they apologized for it.
Oh, wow.
To be fair, it could be true.
Ah,
They're people as well.
sure,
They can be angry.
sure.
That's very true. Yeah. What I really loved was Peter. The
Pettigrew.
No, the Peter group. I can't remember what their acronym
Oh,
stands for.
Peta.
PETA? Is it PETA?
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. The animal people. The
From America.
The really, really bad publicity animal people. Sending that letter in.
Oh, yeah,
to,
about the cloaks.
about fur in 40k.
Yeah. This doesn't show that they're great warriors or anything.
This is not humane. It's made of plastic.
But it
Oh.
encourages others to wear fur. What person goes around with a gigantic space wolf coat on?
To be fair, if I could have a Fenrisian wolf, I would. But I wouldn't wear it as a coat. I'd use it to kill people that walk slowly in front of me.
Well, there are no wolves on Fenris.
I know. So effectively what we're doing is we need to genetically mutate people that think space wolves are cool into wolves and fire them into space.
Nobody thinks space wolves are cool.
Yeah, I want to sell my army.
If anyone wants to buy a space wolf army,
40k
then
one.
really what you should do is find a better army. But if not, buy Palace.
Yes. But I'm probably not going to get rid of all the characters because I put effort into painting them.
Yeah. I this morning, working hard at work,
Sure.
I decided
Sure.
I may potentially want to start a Tyranid army.
Okay.
Because
You've never liked the bugs. What's the change?
I think I like the bugs. Back in 4th edition I had a Tyranid
Yeah,
force.
I used to,
Oh, when they were super strong.
yeah, I started when that was around. That was my first army, actually.
Very much back then I was doing
Jeez.
elite Tyranids. I gave them all the upgrades possible.
I love the hey, you can have carnifexes as troops.
Yeah. But that's the thing, I was looking through it, I was like, the new Kraken thing, it's kind of how I like to play Nids. You have a horde of gribbly fuckers that you just speed up the table because they can move like 18 inches a turn, then you onslaught on them to make them move it again, and then you charge. And you
I
just
missed times when
"Hello."
you could run and then charge. Anyway.
You can with some people,
Oh.
like Harlequins.
And
Yeah.
Gene Stealers.
But
Yeah.
there was a
They
period
can
of time.
advance and charge.
There was a period of time where you weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think this is a good segue into it?
Yeah, we'll
No,
get
we
there.
have to get to Justin's week.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we haven't got there yet.
Okay.
But
Well,
yeah.
Justin this week decided he might like to do a Nid army.
But yeah, I was just looking. Nids
Do anything else,
could be
Darren?
entertaining.
Did I do anything else?
No.
I'll just be cut off then. Fine.
No, we have to finish Jared's week
Fine.
and then go
In
to
other
yours.
news,
Yeah.
finishing my week off, I am done.
Okay, you have anything else? Okay. Justin, what did you do?
You were the ultimate anticlimax. I feel bad for Tiff.
There's a show that's all about anticlimaxes. I can't remember what it was.
Jared's life.
No, it's more amusing than that.
Are you making a joke right now?
Yeah.
Okay. It's very.
Oh yeah,
difficult to
probably
tell.
should probably bring it up when like I have such a deadpan delivery on everything that Jared was one of the people who doesn't know if I'm being serious or not.
It's more annoying when I don't know whether you even like me or not.
If I wasn't talking to you, you'd know. But,
Okay.
I think it's like Rick and Morty or something that has a bunch of them.
What, anticlimaxes?
Yeah, like, oh, we're building up to this, but it's not actually that great.
That show is an anticlimax. And I love the show, but that show is an anticlimax.
Yeah. But anyway, Justin,
Yes. So my week.
probably must be moving on.
Oh.
Now go ahead.
To be fair, my week's going to be quite quick. I
Yeah.
spent most of it at work. And I started designing a list for a doubles tournament.
As you have discussed just before. Yeah.
Haven't had any time to play any games or anything. Haven't really had time to watch movies either. I hate that.
That's not true. You watched Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I was glossing over that and trying to get that time back in my life.
The
The Last Jedi was not worth watching. The only part I found entertaining was the bit where Luke dies.
Wait, what?
Spoilers.
I haven't seen that film.
Ha! You said you had.
No, I didn't. I never said that ever.
Well,
Oh, you know that film that I really care about.
So now you know
That's
what
the
our
plus side.
audience will be like.
you'll be watching the entire movie, the entire way through. And nothing interesting happens. And then you get to the end, Luke's dead. And the movie ends.
Now I know when it's happening as well. Ah!
So I tell you how it happens.
is
No,
this
sorry.
is this worse or better than the one when everyone starts saying Dumbledore killed Snape?
I read the book at least.
Or Snape killed Dumbledore, either.
Snape technically didn't.
Snape
No,
did
no.
kill Dumbledore. You can't argue he didn't.
Dumbledore, like, that was essentially euthanasia. And who's at fault in euthanasia? Is it the person that puts the drugs in, or is it the guy that's like, kill
We're not
me?
looking for who's at fault. We're looking. The definition of kill is they ended the life of. Snape ended the life of Dumbledore. You can't say he didn't because he fucking did.
That's true, but Dumbledore wanted to die.
Yeah, but that's beside the point.
If you wanted to die and I stabbed you right now, I'd get a high five and I'd be accused of killing you, and that would be the end of it because no one cared.
That's a lot of. That really hurt. There's a lot to that.
That's not the first time I've thought this.
Oh.
Apparently, it's normal for people to imagine killing someone else.
Okay.
At the moment,
I'm now more worried. Do you want to swap sides?
No, I'm picturing a certain person I have to work with, and
No one, goes,
confidentiality reasons, we'll leave it at that.
no one goes through with it, of
me,
course.
isn't it?
But it's you still have that fault.
I mean, people do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, murder wouldn't exist.
It's like that thing, The Call of the Void, where you'll just be like driving along, just suddenly in your head, you're just like, I wonder what happened if I just drive into the central reservation. It's actually a thing.
Which makes me wonder
Was
about
it
like
is that the death? What's it called?
death urge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called The Call of the Void.
Like, is like, you know, what those kind of like those unexplained suicides? Is that just where you get the call of the void, but the
Maybe
I
they
don't know,
should
the,
give it a
the
less
safety
cool name.
trigger?
Wait, so what you're saying is The Call of the Void is evolution's secondary attempt at trying to just end idiots.
No, I hadn't finished my point, so don't try and
But I like my point. It's quite good. It's evolution just going, if we make them think this every now and then, if they don't have willpower or a brain, they'll kill themselves. That helps the gene pool.
But there's a safety trigger that pulls you to stop you doing it, isn't there? Like your brain goes, you know what, you probably shouldn't do that.
For me, once it was literally laziness, where I would have had to move my arm on the wheel. And then the feeling just went away.
Yeah, but what, say, like, there's unexplained deaths that were marked down as suicides or, like, accidents and terrible stuff. What if that is literally just where the trigger of, you know what, don't do that, didn't kick in, and just the void just whap overtook you and you decided to turn your car into the other side of the road?
Evolution getting rid of idiots.
I mean, sure.
There we go. So I made my point without having to finish yours. Effectively, I trumped your point by finishing it for
idiots.
you. I would.
Just you would, like, if, like, just that trigger just isn't, like, oh, I can blame the person for the trigger not firing. Like,
if we were walking along and you suddenly went, I wonder what would happen if I put my head under this, like, in front of this lorry's tyre and wait for it to drive over it. I'm not going to be like, oh, that's a very smart idea. Let's see what does happen when it crushes your head. You think, that's a fucking heavy lorry. That's going to squash your head like a melon.
And it'll inconvenience everyone else having to circumnavigate your dead body.
Yeah, and then clean the road and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very indecent to the public.
then you know what would happen.
I know what would happen.
For sure, and we that's the
have you ever seen
scientific method.
Have you seen something heavy fall on a melon?
Wait, what? Have you seen something heavy fall on a melon?
Yeah, a watermelon.
Have you seen many things just randomly fall onto watermelons?
You obviously do not visit YouTube.
I've seen watermelons dropped off a lot of stuff, but I've never seen somebody go, I'm going to drop this on a watermelon.
Have you seen Vinnie Jones crushing a watermelon in a car door?
No.
Yeah, the reason he does that is because it's the same sort of resistance you get from a skull.
I imagine Vinnie Jones didn't need to use the watermelon to find that out.
Just copying Gallagher anyway.
You're weak.
Well, I think he finished already.
I don't know, it's still Sunday, I've
Hannah
got
complains
time.
about that a lot. Oh! I caught that.
That was the ripples coming off Jared's belly.
Ow. So The Last Jedi is a pile of crap.
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
But then you could say that about large chunks of Star Wars franchise at this point.
Yeah, I don't know why the love keeps coming up on this. Cause
Would it be fun to know that all the new trilogy hasn't been planned out?
You've told me this before, and it still triggers me.
Wait, so the new trilogy hasn't been planned out?
No, as in like everyone gets like. This is what happened in the last one. So here you go, do something with it.
Yeah, literally, every director just gets carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they want to the story.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I found funny about
I really wish we had that in an earlier podcast where I just would be good to know that.
In The Last Jedi, I love the way that you can tell it's now owned by Disney. Because they have sparkly crystal fucking foxes that are friends to people that are nice and save them. And they have the porgs.
What?
Who are furry little fucking puffins. They're just like, don't eat my friend. Big eyes. It's like, love me. And
But then Star Wars also had Ewoks.
Yeah, but Ewoks had a purpose. They helped defeat the Empire of that
No, they
part of the planet.
didn't.
They were toys.
I really have
Lucas wanted
issues with the
toys.
fact that the Ewoks actually worked. I've had issues since I was a child, and I first looked at them and I went, how are these teddy bears winning against people in armour?
Well, what you got to think there is, how did the Viet Cong do so well against America and Vietnam? Guerrilla tactics.
But that was
they
probably
also
too
got
much.
funded by Russia. Like,
You don't know Russia was funding the Ewoks?
okay, Ewoks are communist states confirmed.
It was fun how one of my lecturers, because they all went to watch the film together, came out. One of them came out raging, and everyone else all the other ones had to calm down after he came out the movie.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm also going to bring up a point that's bothered me for at least 18 years of my life.
What?
How the fuck did the Ewoks get those gigantic logs up on the fucking vines?
Pulleys.
Levers.
There is no evidence that they understand the pulley and lever system. Like,
Okay, bear with me. Where is your evidence that they don't understand the pulley lever?
have you seen their fucking houses?
They're built in the fucking trees.
I really don't think they had pulley and lever. Also,
are, actually.
there's no branches on any of those trees.
Do you know why? Because they used to build the fucking houses in the trees.
So where were the fucking things attached to?
Higher up, lower down, you don't know.
There's no branches.
They're attached to the trunk, not the branch.
Well, you have to look at the cartoon that came out.
And also,
I never understood
why
the
were
Ewoks,
they
actually.
there? Like,
On Endor,
no. I know why the Ewoks are there on Endor. It's their
Sure.
fucking planet. Why were the giant logs there? Were they already doing an insurrection against the Empire? Were they prepared for this?
I'm guessing they were there because maybe there's some native fauna on
That requires
Endor.
2 logs on either side of it to defeat.
It could be a fucking big lizard.
Would be good to know that.
It's high. It's so high up.
Maybe that's
Actually,
their sport.
we see no other endemic life on Endor apart from the Ewoks.
Literally just Ewoks.
To be fair, maybe they've been eaten by the Ewoks at this point. Maybe the trees are there from ages
Those
ago.
fucking traps are so ingenious. They hunted the giant lizard creatures that we've just made up into extinction.
It's possible.
I-
Have you seen a dodo recently?
I'm sorry, but the extended universe was written so much better than this.
Because they had actual writers rather than Lucas. Oh, hey, we'll just go back into it a couple of years afterwards and we'll fix it.
Yeah, and was his name George Rian? Who's the director that fucked up Last Jedi? I think it's Rian.
Oh, yeah.
Something.
Well, he
Rian.
was the writer and the director.
He was the writer and the director as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he killed Luke off, he's writing shit.
Oh no, he does it in a really cool way. Basically,
You're going to tell me how he dies now as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Fine.
Well, actually, I don't understand that. Like,
he dies
Yeah.
after fighting Kylo Ren. But the best bit is he sort of comes walking out of the Rebel base, where he just showed up at, and the entire Rebel army with these big 80-80 things just goes, alright, and just opens fire, fucking everything onto him. Loads of dust, loads of things. They stop firing, pureed anything that's there, and he walks out of the fucking cloud.
Who's he at this point?
Luke.
Okay.
And this is the best bit. At the same time, Finn drags the fucking crippled Chinese girlfriend he's got now the other way
Rose?
through the door. How the fuck did he make it through? I don't think they planned that. And then on top of this, you've got Luke standing there and he draws his lightsaber. Kylo Ren's come down. He fires his up. He's like, nah. And then Luke's like, oh yes, but and then Kylo Ren's like, nah. And then they start fighting. And Luke's just dodging his lightsaber blows. And he's just being like, I'm sorry, I failed you. Uh-huh. And generally being a bit of a tard at this point because he's a bit dull.
Well, he's just doing a whole Obi-Wan, but you know, like,
Yep. And then he fucking quotes him and just goes, if you strike me down in anger, I'll come back. And then Kylo Ren just cuts him in half with a lightsaber. Luke just turns around, smiles at him, and then poofs out of existence.
What?
And on the planet, the other side of the fucking galaxy, Luke's there having a massive constipated dump. Suddenly falls over, sits back on the rock, and then just turns into a force ghost. He just disappears
Like Obi-Wan. Because he was using a force projection.
across the fucking galaxy.
And the force
And
of
yet,
that
he
kinda
handed
killed him.
Leia the dice from the fucking Millennium Falcon, and they stayed there for a while after his death.
Yeah, there's really stupid stuff in there. Also very,
What?
also very weird injections of humor in places we didn't
Yeah.
really need it.
But wasn't that quite a good analogy of that last bit of the thing? I thought that was quite
Yeah,
accurate.
it's alright.
Yeah.
What?
You're just gonna have to go
Yeah.
watch it.
Go home, watch it tonight. I was spot on with that.
And we'll talk about it next week on the podcast.
I'm so disappointed.
Oh, if you think that's disappointing.
Why Luke gotta die like a bitch, though? Like,
What's hilarious is that all the original actors, 2 of them who are dead in the series are alive, and the one that's alive in the series
Is now dead.
is dead.
He's dead. That's wrong.
There's that one part where they go, ooh, we'll kill off Leia. And it's like, okay, that's how they're dealing with that.
Yeah.
Then she uses the Force from fucking space after a few minutes. She pulls herself back into the ship to the door.
Wait, Leia can't use the Force.
Yeah, she can.
Which-
I know
in-
she's Force sensitive. Like,
Yeah.
they've established, like in the extended universe before they cancelled it by Disney.
But she also said she could do it in the Return of the Jedi.
But
but
this
she's
is-
just Force sensitive. She's not.
Yeah,
a
but she
Force
trained
user.
after. Well, she's had years to kind of develop that.
So she pulls herself into the
Why
ship,
didn't she kill Kylo Ren?
survives,
She's
and then
old.
later she uses the Force again to blow the fucking bridge door in.
She's not that strong. Like,
Oh no!
Ah!
The fucking Skywalkers just really the best thing that could have happened if when Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan had met Anakin, if they just
Kill that little shit.
put
yeah.
a round in the back of his head.
No, just press that button when he's looking at it like that.
The way they kill Snoke
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, was that?
What do you mean
dull.
Snoke
Yeah.
dies?
Oh, you told me that.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, basically, Kylo just turns the lightsaber next to him around slightly and activates it, and then pulls it through him, and he just falls in half. It's like, ooh, that's the big dark Sith dude cut in half.
And we don't know anything about him because they gave him no backstory or anything. Like, okay.
It's just why?
Yeah, exactly. He was more interesting the first one when we knew nothing about him.
Yeah, and he was this big spooky spectre.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's the fucking red dudes, who I'm guessing were the Knights of Ren.
No, they're the Imperial Guard.
Oh,
They
well,
were just Praetorians.
those
Yeah.
dudes, they're fucking badass.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is Red out doing stuff when he could have sent one of them?
Like they were literally created to prevent Obi-Wan's eventual like assassination mission against the Emperor or something like that. Like because the Emperor was like, "Yo, I'm probably gonna get assassinated by a Jedi." Because I don't think he ever really thought that Yoda was just going to randomly sit on a rock and wait for him to die. They were trained to kill Jedi.
You see Yoda's Force Ghost.
Oh, yeah, we do.
You don't see the cool CGI version where he doesn't look like a turd. You see the old puppet version, but weirdly energetic as a Force Ghost.
Yeah. Like, he's putting on the persona he put the first time that he met Luke.
Yeah.
But that's not his true persona.
And
Anyway.
he burns down the fucking Jedi tree temple thing.
Yeah.
Because
How does he do that?
he summons
Calls
lightning
down-
up the
yeah.
fucking sky.
He's a Force Ghost.
And Luke couldn't
fair,
sack
Force
up
Ghosts
enough
have been
to
done
throw
so.
the fucking flare in to do it himself.
The last time they had Force Ghosts, all they did was smile creepily at a bunch of fucking teddy bears dancing.
Oh, this is another bit. The Jedi Temple contained the original Jedi texts.
Yeah.
The original Jedi
The
text.
original
Like the very
ones,
old
all their
ones.
knowledge. And you know what's really cool? Luke's like, oh, you destroyed the knowledge. They're in the fucking Millennium Falcon.
Are they?
At one point, they open it, and you see one of the fucking things in the side.
Okay.
And it's just like, fuck this shit. You couldn't even do that right.
Anyway, let's move on because...
I was ranting.
Yeah, I know. And it makes very nice things to listen to. But anyway, we must move on.
Banter.
Yeah. That's at the start of the show.
God damn it, we're all over our place with our goddamn timing.
So Kingdom Hearts 3 is still on its way.
Isn't that like 10 years now?
Yeah, something like that. It's been years.
Honestly, I thought that had been released.
No, it
and
hasn't.
everyone had forgotten about it at this point.
I was just going to say, what's Kingdom Hearts?
It's a
Yo.
mismatch. It's a mix of Disney characters and worlds with Final Fantasy characters and worlds.
It's Square Enix and
Yeah.
Disney doing a corporate deal.
Yeah.
And it's a very, 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 very popular series on the internet, so don't bash it, otherwise you will get
I like
hate
the
mail.
first. I like the first game more than the second one.
I never played them. I watched Team 4 Star play it,
Sure.
so I know enough.
Yeah.
But all I know is Goofy is your tank and
Yeah.
Donald is your mage.
Yes.
So don't fuck with the white mage.
Also, they sometimes change their looks depending on what planet they are on.
Yeah, so you
Or
go into a
world.
water world. You go water world. If you go to where Ariel is, you become a mermaid.
Yeah.
You mean the ocean?
Yeah, but she gets.
It's
everyone gets
an
their own
ocean world.
planet. So everyone's got their own little planet, and you've got to like in the second one less so, I think.
No,
Where
you
design,
still do.
so you design a ship.
Oh yeah.
You
But
go to places.
it's more of a rail shooter. Well, actually, the rail shooter in both, but it's more graphically intensive in the second
So it's
one.
like a little mini game for traveling between
Yeah.
planets.
What I think would be better, just like a game idea,
Sure.
have your group of friends,
Yeah.
and you get given a spaceship. chassis,
That was not a
basic
very
thing.
good explanation of what Kingdom Hearts is, but yeah.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, it's worse.
sounded
But-
dull as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get your basic ship,
Yes.
and then you go around doing little things together, and you each have your little section you can upgrade. And you
Oh,
can
that's-
upgrade your little section, and you can do it with telling people what you're doing, without telling people what you're doing. So if someone who goes like, I'm in charge of shields and weapons because I'm putting in a
Yeah,
massive...
but I've had this idea before.
Pretty sure they've actually made that game.
Yeah, it's called Bridge Commander.
Yeah.
But it's not as good as what I would like to
That's
do.
the thing.
because
What I
wa-
want to do-
I want ship combat with real life players in
Yeah.
both teams.
I want us to do an RPG where you have your little RPG team. You
Sure.
fly around together, and you come across other ones, and you feel like, oh, let's be friends. And then you can have big ship battles like in Eve,
Mm.
but without the constant, I've played Eve for 12 years, oh, you've played for 2 minutes, my ship, bang.
Yeah, like I would personally like to have like 4 people have navigation, weapons, engineering, and sonar. What was it called?
Oh, science, dude. Yeah, Sulu.
Yeah, Sulu, so. And then possibly a captain as well who actually moves the ship.
They're hailing our ship.
Well, it's
captain,
kind of like Guns of Icarus,
Engage.
except you're in a closed space and therefore you cannot see outside as much because viewports are very bad spaceship's design. It's a weak point.
That's what you do. You have screens instead of cameras outside.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's like what's bloody Perturabos? Iron Blood, the Iron
Yeah.
Blood
So you do it with that. That's his ship in 30k.
flagship.
Thank you.
Jared looked a little bit like a rabbit in headlights then. But yeah, basically, so you do that.
Gloriana Cars.
Yeah. You have your ships. You can upgrade them, do what you like. You can customize the shit out of them, how you want them to look.
Yeah.
You could have a ship that looks
Actually,
like
that
a
sounds
snake.
a little bit like Sea of Thieves now
Yeah, but that's the thing. It would be really cool.
in space.
You could also do a similar thing with like a pirate ship. Do that. That would be cool.
There's that Ubisoft's bringing out that game where it's pretty much Assassin's Creed 4, except we just took the ship parts out of it and made that a game.
So you mean Assassin's Creed 4, the good version?
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah. But anyway, that's they've got Kingdom Hearts 3 just got a trailer with Monsters Inc. because we have to stuff every single Disney product into there somehow.
Oh, they could have done a lot worse. Monsters Inc. is a great universe.
Yeah, they
It's
could put
alright.
Star Wars in there.
Oh yeah, they could. And also Marvel.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
damn,
now
forgot
with their acquisition of Fox, they
Oh,
can
yeah.
actually chuck in
Firefly.
Alien.
Firefly.
Firefly is no longer owned by Fox, I thought, because they cancelled it.
Yeah, they cancelled it, but I think they still own the IP rights.
No, so would have. But after this amount of time, I would have thought they reverted to the original creator.
No.
No,
They probably still own it.
It's Fox, so I
Disgusting.
doubt they revert anything.
Yeah.
fair enough. But look, they can bring in a xenomorph now as a Disney princess.
Yeah.
Blizzard wants class choice to matter again in WoW's next expansion. Bring the class, not the player. I'm half and half on that idea.
So, they want to bring the class, not the player. So basically, does that mean play with a bot and we won't be here? Bring the player, not the class is one of the most misinterpreted phrases.
So basically, what they want is I'm
More
guessing-
diversity between what your player classes are rather than what it's been, because people are like, oh, this one works very well, so we're all gonna play this class because it's the best class for this role.
Yeah.
So
Also,
they need it to be more like D&D, where you pick a class where you don't really know what you're doing,
Yeah.
and you go with it from there.
Sure.
Like our handy bard.
Yeah, but it used to It used to matter when you did like old World of Warcraft instances.
Yeah.
It used to really matter. Like, we don't need a mage right now. We really need a hunter.
Yeah.
And you'd have to, back before they had Looking for Group, which is one of the worst additions to a game I've actually seen. Like, I'm going to do a dungeon. I'm just going to look Looking for Group, and instantly, overnight, all conversation between people just ended. Like the city trade talk, which is supposed to be for trade, but also for Looking for Group stuff. The second Looking for Group was added as a function, it just became it was just marketing at that point. It was just, I'm going to sell this, and that is all it was used for. The occasional troll, but it used to be you'd actually have to talk to people.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose probably the introduction of voice chat and stuff probably contributed to that, because if you've got your friends, you just chat to them.
No one
Yeah.
used the World of Warcraft voice chat system.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Well, you don't use that one, you use other ones.
Discord and other stuff, and
TeamSpeak.
Back in the day, it was TeamSpeak. Yeah, that also probably contributed to it. But also, the building of guilds made everyone a lot more introverted, essentially, because instead of like in branching out, you just be like, I'll just wait until like enough of my guild buddies are on, then I'll do it. Instead of being like, I don't trust other people, so I'm just gonna wait for guilds. Kind of thing.
I remember that playing Warhammer Online. You're like running around and someone just came up to you and went, "You're a high level, can you help me with this bit?" I went, help them, because I'd already done it, and then came back, and then the two of us went off and helped someone else, so we actually built up a little group.
Yeah.
And I was our king, because I was like 4 levels higher than them. And then, because I couldn't be asked to pay for the game, they were leveled higher than me, and I left.
Okay.
So I felt left out.
So basically, that happened in World of Warcraft as well. An addition of achievements also did bad things for that, because you'd go up to being like, "Oh, can you help me with that?" And like, "Oh, can we do this dungeon together?" To a random person, say that they were high level or something. They'd be like, "Okay, show me the achievement for it."
Oh yeah, I remember
And
that
you
in
were like,
Wrath of the Lich King, where like, we need these people, and we have to prove that we've done this before.
And it's just like, and it literally, it's just like when you first start looking for an entry level job, and they're like, okay, you need experience, and it's just like,
It's
well, I can't get it because I need to do it. It's
It's
like,
not as bad as Eve Online's version of getting into a guild, which is where you need to prove you're not a spy. You have to give your blood. You have to give a blood test and several other things to prove you're fine.
Damn.
what the fuck?
I don't know.
Because I think with that, I can see why that would kill off games like that. But again, they probably introduced it because with World of Warcraft, it's such a game you have to grind on. If they don't add new things like that, it will just
Quality
be
of
boring.
life features.
Yeah, and it's a trade. Like, it has made looking for group stuff easier. It just eliminated a lot of the actual communication of the game. So instead of like being able to go into World of Warcraft and be by yourself and still talk to people because people were friendly enough to talk back then, or like interested enough in talking. Now you're just like, if you're not playing with a friend, that it's going to be boring as fuck for you.
But then again, that's like when they went from here's your massive RPG game, so you play it. You have to make notes on a separate piece of paper to find out, right, I've got to go here, I've got to do
I remember
this.
doing that.
Oh, and World of Warcraft when they didn't have the bloody here's where you go for the quest.
Yeah, you actually had to
Read
read the
the
quest
quest
log
line.
and be like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, and it's like, where's the map? Right, I've got to. Or in DayZ, when you're just like, cool, I need to get here. Okay, that's a landmark. I can spot that. Cool, I can spot that on the map. Great. So I must be about here. Take a bearing. Right, that's that hill. Try and get there, and I can do the. You actually have to do real life navigation to find the fucking places, which is really cool until Giles crashes your helicopter 3 times in one night.
Why'd you let him after the first time?
Yeah, after the second time, like first time you'd be like, okay, you made a mistake. Second time, like, dude.
Well, second time he did it by accident. He just pressed the wrong button, and then he was like, "Get in the driver's seat, get in the driver's seat." But you're in the driver's seat, man. I fell out. It's like, oh, and I got into that seat, and then we hit the ground.
Sure. So we've already moved on to the next article, which is Relic is has abandoned plans to make more additional content for Dawn of War 3.
Relic abandoned plans to make any content for that game.
They didn't abandon plans. They
They
abandoned
got
making plans.
They got the license and then went, well, we're done.
But they had Dawn of War 1 and 2.
And then they just sat on their ass.
Yeah.
To be fair, Dawn of War 1, that was good.
Yeah.
Dawn of War 2, it was passable for a little bit to play it.
Sure.
It was
Dawn of War
interesting
3, I think I racked up maybe 4 hours on that before I got bored.
I managed 9. Do you know why I managed 9?
Why?
Because each mission takes 2. Like, oh, I'm gonna. So, like, I was doing it on hard difficulty, right? Bearing in mind, so yeah, I expected difficult. What I didn't expect was not difficult. Just the fact that I had to sit on my ass for 20 minutes to get 100 energy.
This
It is
is
the
I
slowest
probably
RTS in the
closed
fucking
that.
history of the world.
Sorry, whoever heard that Facebook message.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, that's it's really weird when I mentioned that chat, and now someone's actually put something on that chat.
Fine, I'll check it as well.
Yeah,
Check it as
okay.
well.
But yeah, so Dawn of War 3 is one of the biggest disappointments of my
Yeah,
life.
but knowing how like RTS is still following that decline that has for years.
There's no real reason for it. It's because every RTS game seems to... Right, fair enough. They're not the biggest sellers.
Sure.
They have a dedicated core of people who are very, very into it.
A niche.
A niche.
Koreans.
But, so what you should do when you're an RTS is just basically go, we are going to make that amount of money because that amount of people are going to buy it.
Sure.
And play to that budget.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to make a profit, make it for less than that. But they don't. They seem to go, if we change the system up, we'll make everyone buy it.
Yeah, the
And
idea
it
is
just-
usually to expand your market, so get more people to play it.
Yeah, but it doesn't work.
The main
No.
problem I find with RTSs is there's not enough to them.
How so?
It's basically like Age of Empires. Take that. You just go, cool. So I've got my base. I can build that, and then I build these little fuckers. I only have a limited number of them to command at a time because population limit. And then I send them out against these other little fuckers, and then eventually one of us will get to the other base, and that about covers it. There's no like flanking. You don't really have to think strategic on where you put your troops. You just go, have at them.
You ain't never played no StarCraft.
Or
I haven't
Warcraft.
played StarCraft.
Or Warcraft. Warcraft
did
is
play that.
damn important, actually.
Warcraft 3, really.
Yeah, I played that. That was a doddle, but no,
You didn't play multiplayer, did you?
I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that hurt. Like that trying to StarCraft 2. You ever tried to beat a Korean?
No. But I've never played StarCraft because it just doesn't look interesting. But then again, I don't really like making Blizzard games. Stupid Heroes of the fucking wank storm.
He played one game and he picked Tracer, and that was his first match ever, and it's just a bad idea. Like,
and it was also just boring. And we've just had a Matthew enter the room.
Hi everyone!
hello, Christmas is over there.
Oh joy, fruit steak luckily.
Anyway, on to our...
I think he had a stroke. Moving on.
Sounds that right, to be
But yeah, Age of Empires, you just go, cool, my base is built here, you got their base over there, we throw people at each other until one of us runs out of resources and the other one doesn't.
well, think of the strategy in that. Like,
What strategy?
what troops do you use to
What
burn
build-
their resources while not using too much of yours?
What build order do you do to get an advantage or like counters the other person's
You
build?
rush till you get a castle. Your castle then defends your base.
But what about positioning of units?
No, that's the thing. You haven't had to worry about that yet because you've got a castle. From there, you build your British longbowmen and you upgrade them. And now you build a little box with a gate and you put your British longbowmen in there. And you watch your enemy go, shit, I can't go near that. And you shoot into their base and kill everything.
Okay, so Age of Empires was made in what, 1993? Do you think they've made some advances since then?
No.
Oh shit.
So a genre that's been around for a decade or more has had no innovation. Since...
I mean,
To
they
be
keep
fair-
trying to innovate it, but it doesn't work.
You say it, things that have been around for a decade without innovation. America's been around for a
97
good
actually.
few hundred years, and they haven't innovated their country yet.
Huh.
You've got a few innovative people in there, like Elon Musk, but the actual country's
I
not.
could have
doing it.
sworn he was Canadian.
Yeah, but he's sort of
An hour.
he's occupying America at the moment.
Oh, he is occupying America at the moment. Like, he's,
Podcast.
Have you seen that picture of him launching the Falcon?
no,
Oh, it's a picture of a happy man.
fair dues.
He-
I have seen that picture of him when he was like making PayPal, and then when he's now,
Oh yeah,
it's like 1997 to 2017.
I love the
and
way-
that boy has got some surgery on him.
he has developed a jawline.
Yeah, and I was like, what? Like, and a hairline, and everything. I was just like,
But-
money buys you much.
It's
Like,
like, when the Falcon's going up, he literally just he's there like this, looking so happy, and he's looking at him like, "You done good, man." Did you see it?
he's
landing?
also he was engaged to Tallulah Riley, so he done good.
Yeah. Did you see the Falcon launcher landing?
No.
Oh, it's fucking beautiful. It,
No,
it
it's
literally
coming
goes up, and then obviously it breaks apart. And the reason it's so much cheaper than previous rocket is because the stages come back down and they can be reused.
Ah.
So the launch thing, they come back down, they land in practically perfect fucking synchrony, perfectly in the center of the pads. And he was watching it like, from a physics point of view, I'm having a crisis right now. That's just, that's perfect.
Fair dues.
You've got to find the video and watch it because it is gorgeous.
Yeah,
Chaos is Justin's, by the way.
That's fine. I'm just looking around.
Anyway,
So moving on.
Deadpool 2 trailer.
Well, that was
Game back.
interesting. Moving on to an interesting
Yeah,
thing.
alright.
Yeah.
No,
No, you can't be able to go Deadpool.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't. That's an independent Marvel film that did great. Like
At
Ryan Reynolds
boring people.
basically paid for that himself,
Yeah.
and boy, did it pay off.
I admit it paid off, but that really, to me, just shows
Yeah,
just
it dropped
how dull normal humans are that they found
You
that
might want
good.
to shut the
Normal
lights first.
humans.
Yeah. You know, the benign idiots of the world that plays in Zao, for instance.
I'm amazed you can get your head through doorways. We're in a room with 9-foot like ceilings, and I am still reckoning you're scraping your hair off.
Well, that would explain why it's thinning.
Anyway, Cable's in it. Yeah,
Cable
moving on.
is in it, and they confirmed that at the end of the last one.
Yeah, I know.
So, in their fucking Ferris Bueller's Day Off scene, I loved it so much.
Sure. Moving on.
Fine.
So Evo Fighting Game Tournament has a certain lineup, and Marvel vs. Capcom is not there.
Funnily enough, it's because it's not good.
Exactly. And then we got we got the lineup of Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7, Smash Bros for the Wii U, Smash Bros Melee, Blaze Blue Cross Tag, which has all the what's it called, Ruby characters in it now.
Oh, okay.
As a
Matt,
side
just wait
note,
till the end of the podcast to do that. We got Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator 2, and Injustice 2, and Dragon Ball Fighters, because those are good games.
Injustice 2. Still gonna put that up there in good games.
Well, better than Marvel vs. Capcom.
Well, okay, fair enough.
I know it's a low bar to jump over, but
like that is on the floor, son.
yeah, it's alright.
I want to praise Melee for the fact that it is still in the Evo lineup.
Yeah, but Melee players are trash.
Okay,
That
is some strong words.
Have you seen what they do in order to win?
No.
Like, one guy starts shouting every single time the other player gets a combo off to distract him. So he drops his combo, and he gets to counter him.
Then make that illegal in the rules.
They haven't done so.
How does that work?
Don't know, it just works.
That's literally saying, you're driving.
No, because they're right next to each other.
Yeah. Okay, you're driving, and the person next to you starts talking. Do you suddenly veer off the fucking road?
No, but
It's
like
a-
I
it's
can imagine
allowed.
somebody just going like, "Rah!" Like it's going to be in your ear. It's going to be a little bit distracting when you're trying to do. Like it would be, say, someone doing a 1v1 on League and having commentators in your ear. Was that a little distracting, Justin?
To be fair, it was distracting because I was trying to listen to them. If you
And he's trying to listen to him.
no, he's not trying to listen to his opponent.
Oh,
That's interesting.
But
That was
what you do is like, okay,
I wonder if they could call it on the camera. No camera.
if you're typing at the computer and someone comes up to you and says hi, do you instantly stop typing and go, "Oh no, I threw the keyboard across the room"?
Then you kind of don't know how loud this person was in his ear.
like screaming level.
Yeah.
I imagine.
If they've turned to go keep fucking going. They're not watching the screen.
No, they don't have to turn. They just go right
Exactly.
now. They're literally like as it, when
Yeah,
they
they're
do-
pretty much this
This is how
distance
far apart
between.
they are.
So if I screamed right now, you would shit your pants and stop whatever you're doing.
Nobody
No,
would
if
be-
I was in a tense as fuck final game of Evo tournament, yeah,
Then
probably
surely
I'd
you'd
a
be
bit
so
distracted.
fucking zoned in and good at it that you would not be paying
I'd
attention.
probably give the guy an elbow.
Yeah, so you'd just like.
You
can-
fucking
At
just
that
straight
point,
to the face.
if you're that good at the game, it must just be muscle memory, and you basically just like, I'm thinking of my shopping list today.
No, you actually have to pay
So
attention.
what
what's
you're
happening on
saying
screen.
is that in every sport, like everyone should be allowed to scream at their opponent.
I think it would improve snooker. Have you ever seen that on TV?
A fire would improve snooker.
Yeah, it's like no, quiet. The guy's got to lie down and poke a ball. Ooh, bear with me a second. Yes, he did hit that ball. Wouldn't have been able to do that with sound waves in the room, would he?
I don't get why tennis has got to have that.
Oh.
You can play football with 60,000 people screaming at you. Tennis, I don't know.
The reason tennis has to have it is because that has some like upper class toughness to it. Of if there is noise, there's a yobbo nearby, and then you got to throw your strawberries and cream at it. It's like down, bitch. Bring me more strawberries.
Also, another
Don't use the
example.
ball for that strawberries.
Another example of melee players is like, because you know it's a GameCube game.
Yeah.
So there's this factory thing with GameCubes that some of them have this issue where the input's a little bit different, and so it does something it shouldn't be doing. But that fault is also very advantageous in the game, in Melee. So the guy would come in, oh no, can't play with this controller because it doesn't do that thing. And it's like 1.1% of products produced like that. It's like, no, I can't play. I'm gonna go away. You're not gonna play. He's not gonna even compete if he doesn't have the right kind of controller that has a particular fault in it.
Wait, so they want the fault?
Yes. Because
Why wouldn't you just
because-
establish
because-
that the other computer controller doesn't have a fault then? Or does?
This is like in League of Legends where they pick certain skins for certain champions because of slight differences in hitboxes and stuff.
Yeah,
To make the hitbox the exact same on everyone.
But they haven't
don't know.
Why wouldn't they?
because it's effort.
Yeah, that too. But anyway, on to another MOBA game. Heroes of the Storm is getting voice chat apparently.
That is going to be a clusterfuck.
Yep.
Like, just a bad idea all around. Like, the fact that League doesn't have it should tell you not to put it in a MOBA.
I
To be
have to
fair,
admit,
Heroes
I
of the
would
Storm doesn't have that either.
love for League to get
Just
voice
say
chat.
Heroes of the Storm.
I
Do
had.
you mean Dota?
I'm at Hearthstone.
Oh, why would Hearthstone have it? I'm gonna put this card down. Well, I can't do anything about that because it's your turn.
But it's like not having the chat in there either. You just have the particular emotes for.
Oh
say
yeah,
something.
but like that works. That's fine.
Yeah, that limits your
I think
what you can say.
I think if
It's a
But
bummer
yeah,
they
yeah, I
shouldn't,
know there's
because
reason
that
for
move
it.
was trash.
if League of Legends got voice chat, it would only improve the game
Would it?
purely because you'd have all the people that get really antsy about people talking to them would lose focus and just suck. and the people like me that can just go, cool, mute.
He'd be one of those melee fuckers, wouldn't he? Like,
Maybe.
he
Yeah.
would just be straight up, just like ah. when he's hitting someone.
Afterwards, I'll show you a compilation of what melee players do, and
Okay,
then
cool.
yeah,
I mean, we still got to do that. We're gonna make him play KOTOR
yeah.
next. So
Well, yeah,
Main play what?
KOTOR.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, yeah.
You were like, oh, you're gonna play that game without me, and now
I don't
you don't
know.
even remember what the game is.
No, I know what the game is. I just don't know what the fucking acronym is when I've never heard it.
KOTOR. There you go. Now you've heard it.
Yeah, I know it now. You've already explained it.
Right, moving on.
Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr. We had interest in this for some reason.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Have interest in that because it looks very cool.
I like the
can you
release
mute
date.
The sound?
What?
Can you mute the sound so we can watch the video and comment on that? Let's quickly do a
Commentary on the
Bureau
video.
of Barely Acceptable Content Reacts.
Yeah, pick a trailer.
Which one?
Ooh.
5.
No, that's
Ah.
There's six.
7.
Okay.
7.
Oh, there's so many more. Pick that one with the dude on it because that seems like
No, not that one. The one to the right. The one to the right.
no, not the one with the Hellbrute. After the Hellbrute.
That one.
This one.
That one. Oh, it's already.
Yeah, it's already
okay,
muted.
Okay, so this is 5 minutes long.
What? Open
World.
world.
Open
No, because everything has to be open world these days.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
space station.
Wait, it doesn't have a crafting system. I'm out.
Uh,
Okay, so
That's a galactic plane.
space.
that's a 2D plane on a 3D environment.
Oh, is this bloody
Space combat.
No, what's the game called?
Gothic.
Yes.
Oh, it's not.
Battlefleet Gothic.
It's probably got some Gothics.
They just built
That's
the
a
galaxy.
map.
Yeah,
That's
we've
a
talked
map.
about it.
Ah, be better.
They just randomly generated a galaxy.
Yep, that's space.
Enter the. Okay, this is the blurb for it. Enter the chaos infected
Caligari.
calamari sector,
Caligari.
calamari, and
Ah.
purge the unclean with the most powerful agents of the Imperium of Man. You can't be a space marine.
No.
Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr. That's a really bad name. Is a grim action RPG featuring multiple classes of the Inquisition who will carry out the Emperor's will in the darkest reaches of the Imperium. So, RPG, right?
Well, it's going to be like Diablo-esque, I think.
Yeah.
It's got mostly positive reviews, and there's 662 on there. So far, the video is just kind of showing off the
Features.
random generation of galaxies, which is kind of.
I think basically it's Diablo 3 in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd like to see the combat at least because.
Oh, I've seen some of the combat. It looks pretty cool.
Oh,
There we
go.
are.
Oh, there's a
Nope,
bit of a
there's
will.
a bit
Oh, cool character creation. You can be a space.
Well, customization.
Well, you can be a near enough
power
space marine.
armor, yeah.
Death Marine.
Random maps and missions. Oh, who doesn't love a roguelite? You know, there's not enough of those.
Well,
games.
no, Diablo does that already.
Tactical
RPG, action RPG, yeah. I wouldn't call it an action RPG.
Diverse boss fights. I'm okay with boss fights.
Are you?
I am because look,
Ah,
there's
no.
Tyranids and he's just running away from the fucking Tyranids.
He's a smart Inquisitor.
Was it Nids? I thought it was Nurglings.
No, there's a whole bunch of enemies.
Either way, you want to run away from both of those.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got a pretty cool cover
Yeah,
system.
stationary gun.
Turret
The big
levels.
thing. Shoot the big thing.
Evolution of turret levels.
Completely destructible environments.
That's going to be hell on some
Hellbrute.
systems.
Spectacular executions.
Because we need those.
Oh shit!
No.
I didn't even realize it was on his face, and he just ripped
Yeah,
out the
well.
Hellbrute's face. Okay, who's that? That's another Hellbrute seemed to be.
That's
the
a Decimator
Forge
engine.
one. Yeah, Decimator engine.
So they got a Forge World license as well. That's cool.
Well, they can just. Can we do this? And then, like, yeah, can we
Yeah.
use all of these things?
To,
Yeah,
to be
okay.
fair, Games Workshop Forge World. Which one of these is douchey about its IP?
Okay, fair enough. I mean, Games Workshop is just kind of like, it's like they've come out of a long-term relationship.
Mm.
Like they're just giving away their IP for free now.
Nearly. Well, anyway.
That's a really bad name, though.
Inquisitor Martyr. You're gonna die. Oh.
So.
To be fair, that worked with Halo Reach, didn't it?
Did it?
You guarantee you're going to be dead at the end of this. It's like, I'm so invested in my character.
Well, that's just
I will live.
Well, Persona 3.
Oh, yeah.
Persona 3 has the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, you are going to die. It's all, like, put in the OP of that game.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I do like that aspect because you're just like, oh, how? Wait, I can beat this, and then you don't.
I think you get to the last level and it's like, I can fucking beat this. And you do it for 15 minutes, then it just starts killing you anyway. It's like, I'm not getting shot. Stop cracking my visor. Stop cracking... Why am I dead? I didn't get shot. You wank, Stain Covenant.
No, they just throw like 5 hunters at you. Just be like, here, have fun.
Oh, that was
I
fun.
would have fun with Five Hunters. Those were fun games. Like,
Especially if it's Halo 1. 5 bullets.
Oh yeah, with the Magnum, the most powerful weapon in the world.
That's not how you kill them. You jump over them because, like, you just go over them and then you hit them in the back, and you do that for about 20 minutes because it's just hilarious.
I did actually complete the entirety of Halo 1 in melee.
Nice.
Didn't fire a shot.
No.
That took far too long. I kind of regret it.
Try doing that in Halo 3 when the final boss is that little tiny moving little ball.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the,
And you're just like,
spark.
come here!
Try doing that in Halo 2. Yeah. On Legendary, I could never kill fucking Tartarus.
That's because you don't want to be in combat with him.
No. I even took the fucking Banshee in there. It doesn't die.
No, that little that fucker is difficult.
Yeah.
Right.
Every
And
other
then the
difficulty, I
fucking
could
flood
deal with
come and you're just like, ah!
it. Halo 2, you're just there like, you physically just don't take damage, you dick bean.
Anyway, Warhammer news.
Orlox.
Warhammer Necromunda.
Yeah.
Let's divide it by that because do any of us here play Necromunda?
Well, we got
We
the
got a whole
models.
set.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
do
haven't played it yet.
We haven't played
So
it.
no.
So no. However, there is a new gang coming out who look very, very what's the word I'm looking here for?
Mad Max.
Boring.
Okay. What you don't like about the design?
What don't I like about the design? They're just normal dudes. Look at them.
That's Necromunda.
Yeah, but the other two factions have got really cool techno-punk things going on.
Wait,
And
you
these
mean
guys
Technopunk being...
have got
You've got the girl gang, followed by the muscle-bound slob gang,
No, the-
followed by the normal dude gang.
you've got the girl gang, which has got like mohawks and like crazy colors and
These
really
guys have mohawks.
out there model choice. And these guys, and then you've got the really buffed up steroid gang who've got again like really weird diverse weapons. And these guys who are guard.
He's got a harpoon gun.
Yeah.
That's
They're
different.
just guard. Like they are the people who got rejected from the Imperial
Look,
Guard. That is all they are.
Two guys on the left, fucking mohawks.
Really shit mohawks though. Like, the kind of like the mohawk that's kind of like army mohawk.
You just said they guard.
That's what I'm saying. They're
Maybe
really boring
Maybe
models.
they're guard wannabes.
They are guard wannabes, and they
Well, they're
suck.
Lords of Iron apparently, or something.
The House of Iron.
Yeah, Lord House of Iron. But anyway,
Sounds like the Destiny things, like what the
I think they're literally called the House of Iron or something.
that's the thing. Is like like
The
Fallen.
Fallen.
The Fallen. They're just like house of this, house of that, house of this. It's like I don't care what they're called. I just want to shoot them.
What I don't get about Destiny is every single enemy faction on that was edgier than the last. Yet not edgier than anyone else. It was simultaneously like they were trying to be like, hey, these guys are really edgy. Hey, these guys are really edgy. Hey, oh wait, they're just as edgy as each other, but they're all shit.
It's the way that the Fallen are. We are bad guys. It's like cool. There's some interesting bad guys. I can get behind this. And then you get slightly further through the game. It's like ooh, now you got the Hive. Fuck, these guys are basically like fucking Chaos Nurgle-esque Tyranids. This is fucked up. And then you go, ooh, now we've got the Vex. They're just robots. It's like, oh, they're really hard to kill. It's like, no, you just shoot them in the middle. At that glowy thing, which is a big fucking target. And they're dead. It's like,
no.
these bad guys are pretty shit.
No. So Age of Sigmar got that Malign Paladin's coming out.
Yep.
Moving on.
Woo, Forge World!
Yeah, Forge World decided to skip doing doors again and instead bring out actual models. So we got they're just they're hired guns for Necromunda.
Those motherfuckers look interesting.
You know why? Forge World Design Studio.
Then we also got transfer sheets for.
No, because the original gangs were interesting as well. But okay, the design sheet looks actually pretty cool as well. To be fair, there's a lot
Imperial Knights.
that's less interesting, but they're still pretty cool designs. And
look,
the
There
the
are checks
people,
there. You could put checks on Cal.
Oops.
The people look really cool.
Was that Batman with a mustache?
Yes.
This best friends play Batman.
And I actually clicked on
Actually,
it.
you know
So
what? If we're going to go into a random ass topic, Batman games, they were fantastic. The Arkham series specifically.
Arkham Knight less so, and Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Knight-
what's it?
Bad.
What's the Arkham before that?
Arkham Origins.
Yeah, that's the one.
People hated on that. I quite liked it.
It's okay.
The Joker reveal. Woohoo! So good.
I'm morally opposed to anything to do with boring ass Batman. So I've never played a
Yeah,
Batman
but
game.
Superman is more boring.
I actually find Superman more interesting because his backstory is
changes
kind of
every
interesting.
single time.
But his actual character.
Oh, his character's boring.
Exactly.
But so is Batman's. But the backstory of both of them, you've got entire planet destroyed, which was an interesting planet. They got some cool cultural shit going on.
Yeah, but it wasn't destroyed.
And then
because
you've
there's
got-
still that city that's in miniature form.
Yeah, that's Candle. It's not a city. It's a city, not a planet. But then you've got Batman. And it's like, Batman had money because his dad was good at stuff. His dad died, along with his mum. Now Batman takes that money and is still mediocre at everything except having
yeah, but
money.
nobody cares about Batman. They care about his villains,
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So,
which
If-
is what the game's designed. Like they were all about the villains.
which would be so much cooler if they just made a game where it's like, cool, you are random Joe Blogs in this city. Batman is dead. Villains have taken over. Deal with it.
Because you just be like, okay, I'm going to go home, I'm going to eat my groceries that I run from the store, and then you just be going to sleep every night, and then I go to work again.
Yeah,
that is
that's
literally
it.
the game, and
You've
that
got
would be very uninteresting.
No, it would be uninteresting because you're like,
Or you could play as Batman and then explore all of your villains
No,
who are
isn't it-
really interesting.
you've got to either decide: am I going to be bad and be a villain, so you can go the evil route, or am I going to be good and try and like stand up for the nobleness of humanity and try and fight against the villains? That would be so much cooler.
Okay, so what if Joe Bloggs got into like Batman's costume and shit?
Then Joe Blogs would have a more interesting fucking storyline than I was born into money.
That actually sounds like a really good game.
Yeah, see,
That sounds pretty boring.
I've just improved the
Like-
Batman series by removing Batman.
There was a DLC for the Batman games where you could play as the Joker for a bit.
No one cares.
Nobody wants to play as the Joker. What they want to do is beat the Joker up, but
Yeah,
you need it. You need
Without
a way
him-
to do that.
Without him turning into a bloody giant ogre thing.
I want
Yeah,
to
well,
beat,
that wasn't terrible.
yeah, I want to beat the Joker up as a basic dude with a baseball bat.
Yeah, but the only unfortunate part is you just have to channel meeting all of these villains through a very, boring individual. But the second you just ignore the fact that he's a boring individual and then you meet all the other villains and stuff, that's when it becomes interesting.
Okay, how about you are a mob boss from somewhere else? You want to go into Gotham. Batman is dead. Deal with the other villains.
I would love that game. Make
Yeah.
that game, I'll buy that game. But nobody's made that game, so I can't buy that game.
I will
So I
make
can't play
that
that game.
game.
So I can't talk about that game.
I'll make that game and sell it to you for several £1,000,000 that will pay for me and Pally to design it.
Pauli and I.
Okay, Pally's just been cut out. It'll pay for me and someone that's not going to correct my grammar to do it. You just cut yourself out of a lot of money, buddy.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Oh, actually, did we
I'm
get
gonna
any
go to
emails? Now I'm kind of curious,
sleep.
but
Did we get any emails this week? Before I just gonna go. I'm just out of the conversation.
Just start playing 30k. Make your
No,
life easy.
never.
We should start doing a section like this for fancy as well.
oh,
Hey,
we got an email.
male hose and silent woman.
Okay, so we're reading the email.
Oh, it's
That's why we all
Brodo.
switched.
Shout out
you
to
got to read it
Brodo.
first.
So, my question is this. How did you all get into gaming? What was your first console? And as a 10 or 12-year-old, what was the best game ever to you at that time? Love you, Brodo. P.S. Although you are called the Bureau of Barely Acceptable Content, how fussed are you about being asked questions about non-gaming? Film, TV, anime news. I'll drop one word as a bombshell to test your comfortableness.
Outside of the
That's
previously mentioned topics we discussed on the podcast.
I had to breathe, damn it.
No, we're fine. We're fine with those kind of questions. Actually, we really would like those
Does
questions.
does he want an extra R in there? Do you reckon?
I think he is saying Trump.
But he spelt Trump. That is Brodo to a T. So Brodo is Ben is. I'm going to drop some really weird nicknames.
You just
now.
gave away his alias.
Yeah, we
you
really-
just got Batman killed.
He's my friend from back in Cardiff, and I knew him through Bieber, who is Sean.
You're
who
just
is my friend
you're
back in
just
Cardiff.
you're just like giving all these people.
I think the reason he's got such unrealistic names for his friends is they don't exist.
Ha! You've all met Bieber, so shut up.
Have we?
Yes, you have.
I remember meeting Sean.
Cardiff is a different place.
But anyway,
So he looks a little bit like Frodo, and he's a total bro, which is why he's called Brodo. It's fun.
okay.
But he is the funniest guy because he's got all these like you know those people you meet these people and they've all got a story. Like they've always got a story. Like
Sure.
and they just
Maybe-
the life of the party because there's always a story and they're just like they're constantly just like kind of like Quincy Jones, the pop manager, who's always got a story because he knows tons of people. He's always dropping these little stories. He always has a story, but they're never good. Like about him, like any story he tells, it's going to end up in some kind of tragic humor way. Like there was this one he told me where he was walking down the road and he saw this kid about to get hit by this car, so he heroically jumps in, grabs the kid, saves the kid, picks him up, puts him down on the pavement, and the mother walks over to him and accuses him of like being a paedophile because he was touching her kid. And it's just like, if something could go wrong, it will go wrong for this guy. And honest God, I've had so many nights where I've just been wetting myself because he just keeps telling me these stories.
So,
they never end.
are you going to do every single person who emails us have a long story about them?
The ones I know, sure.
Yeah, that's good, and that'll improve our numbers.
Anyone else that emails in that Jared knows, please use a pseudonym.
Okay, so I'm going to take the PS first, though.
Sure.
Previously mentioned topics, test accompanist outside of stuff like that. Trump, obviously politics, probably not something.
Not really what our thing is about, or we're going to
Like,
comment
we
on
can
really.
talk about it, but
The
we could
FBI
go
will
into a
be
lot of
onto
it,
us.
but it would be probably, we'd have to do it in a separate kind of podcast because,
Probably.
I mean, for one, that is immediately going to alienate a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, whatever side you come down on, basically you're losing that one other side.
Yeah.
So, politics, no. Religion, no. Obviously, the big three, essentially.
Probably, yeah.
Politics, religion, and economics. Like, I don't know.
Economics?
I said big three, and then I had to come up with a thing.
Yeah, I was curious what you're going to come up with.
Because there's politics, religion, like what.
Politics, religion, and sex.
There are
the
three
big three.
things. Oh, sex. There you go, sex. So obviously,
I think we can cover sex. We're just not really going to be able to give much great advice out here. If someone starts
you know
writing
what I'll
in,
do,
doing
but,
like agony aunt stuff, like, please, my boyfriend doesn't know what to say. It was
my
like,
favorite one of that was like somebody wrote in was just like, I was on my way to work and my car broke down after a really short journey, so I returned home to find my husband in bed with another woman or something, and the agony aunt reply was from a man, and he went, your car really shouldn't be breaking down.
But anyway, so we will answer questions about non-gaming film, TV, and anime news.
It just can't be from the big three, which is sex,
Yeah.
politics, religion,
To be
because
fair.
it just alienates.
Unless it's part of the work,
yeah.
of a fictional
yeah,
world,
so,
then
like-
yes.
Feel free to ask us a question about anything, and we'll just judge it on a topic by topic basis.
I will bring it up and say like reasons why we either aren't going to go into it or are.
Sure.
So yeah.
So, like, reasons here we're not going to talk about Trump is Jared is an avid supporter because he looks like him, and the rest of us aren't going to risk it.
That's the worst thing you've ever said to me.
And yet, it's come up twice this week.
Anyway,
And I haven't said it both times.
how to get into gaming? Let's answer the actual question instead of talking around it.
Email.
How did you all get into gaming?
I got into gaming through PC gaming,
Nice.
and it was because my dad was stuck on a level on either Doom or Quake, and he was getting annoyed with it, and I just said, can I have a go? And I fucking destroyed that game, and he got really annoyed with me, and started playing Unreal Tournament instead. And then I started playing Unreal Tournament, and his work started doing tournaments at work about it, because he worked in IT, so they just lined all the computers up.
Yeah.
And I was not allowed to be invited to these, because his colleagues didn't like losing to a 9-year-old.
To be fair, that still happens.
That's brilliant.
But it was great, because I was like, I like this game, this is fun. And everyone else was like, stop it, you're not allowed to do this. But yeah, that's how I got into gaming.
So I can actually tie down when I got into gaming to a specific date.
Can you?
When I was 4, 5. I need to. Obviously, I haven't read it.
And
in
the
a while.
PlayStation 1 come out.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I had my mum thought it'd be a good idea for me to do a diary, and like you can, like when you first day of school, and it's like I wrote down what happened to me on the first day of school.
Yeah, I know, I saw
And
that.
I wrote down what happened to me like the next day and the next day and kind of thing. Just like a short little paragraph, because it just helps your kid learn to read, appreciate books and stuff. And I
should
can
have kept that
test.
going.
I can specify the date that I got my first. I think it was a Sega Mega Drive,
Yeah.
and I played the Jungle Book, which is a fantastic game, and that is how I got into gaming.
The first console I ever owned was an Xbox.
Wow, you got it late.
Yeah, I'd always been PC gaming. There was never a game on a console that even remotely interested me. And then I played Halo at one of my dad's friends' houses with their niece or something. I spent about 6 hours playing Halo, and we got lost on the second level, but I had a blast doing it, and I really wanted to finish the game. So my mum said that she would buy me the console, because I was in year 9 at this point at school, so I was like 13 or something.
I was so much younger.
Yeah, so I was in like year 9, and she just went, oh, if you get like we had like a house point system and all that. She went, if you get 25 house points, you get a silver badge. And if I got my silver badge, she'd buy me the Xbox.
10 points to Gryffindor? Like,
it's effectively the same sort of thing. But,
yeah, we had merits or something in in Taiwan when I was in the British school there.
We had 5 merits to a house point, and then I needed 25 house points.
Alright.
And I did it in about 6 weeks. And bear in mind, before this, I probably had about 2 house points in my entire time at school.
Yeah.
And it actually won me an award at school as well. At the end of the year, I got a whole load of chocolates for it.
Okay.
And there was like, he was given some pretty good motivation. I think that's how he managed it. And I was like, I got chocolate as well. This is awesome. And that night, I was just sat there playing Halo. Hom. And that's where the fatness came from.
Okay.
yeah, we came from different backgrounds. My school was happy when we didn't end up pregnant or in jail. like, have a point.
I went to one of the top schools in the country at the time, so...
I went to the 183rd out of 200 worst school in Cardiff. like, what the fuck?
For a while,
Good times.
mine was the top non-private school in the country.
Okay.
So I'm not from around here, so I don't know what that means. But anyway.
Basically, I was educated to a higher level than Jared.
Sure.
No, you were basically educated to a Finnish level because
Yeah.
those people have got crazy schools. Like,
Less homework than anyone else, really, or something like that.
That's because you actually did your work at school.
Yeah.
they also don't believe in tests up until like high school.
Yeah, something like
that's
that. Yeah.
genius.
I know, right?
So much less stress. No wonder you're so
yeah,
happy.
because you're stressed at primary school. Like,
What do you mean?
Oh no, the SATs.
I got homework in primary school.
yeah, everyone did.
Yeah.
I only got it in year 6. That really pissed me off. You'd be there, and it's like, this is my home time. Don't give me work. It's like, no, you have to do this for tomorrow. It's like, why?
I
We
can
can
do
do
it
it at
now.
school.
Like,
Anyway, mine might be a convoluted story about how I got in my first console. Nah, it's not really convoluted, but it's very long-winded.
you're making it worse.
Yeah, I know.
Before the war.
Can't remember what my first game was, but I was like 7 or 5 when I got my first game.
Big difference.
7 or 5.
Can't remember. But first console was a PlayStation 1.
Good place to start.
Yeah. I just remember like Mega Man X5, was it, that I had?
Fairly certain that's not.
Funny enough, I didn't
Yeah,
know
it
you when
was.
you were 7 or 5.
I mean,
so-
I'll look it up. But
Why
anyway,
would Mega Man be on the PlayStation?
I might
Yeah.
have had a Game Boy before I had a PC.
Oh,
I remember having a Game Boy Pocket, which was black and white, and playing Bomberman.
Yeah, no.
And-
Jared just proved you wrong.
Just holy shit! They actually made a Mega Man on PC on PS.
Yeah, I did play X4 on a PC, so it's really convoluted where I started my game phase. I did have a Game Boy as well.
I miss Game Boys.
Yeah, the Game Boys were fun. When did the first Game Boy come out?
Nintendo. Yeah.
But like, with Game Boys now,
Block.
do you sort of look at the Game Boy and think, this is made to do too much? The Game Boy should be something you put in your
Yeah.
pocket, and then you go, I've got like 15 minutes to play a game. You pop it out, flick it on,
Color was the
play
one.
from your last save, and then just go, save again, put it back in your pocket.
I had the special edition Pikachu Game Boy.
Oh, nice.
Because of
That
course
shit
you
was
did.
like, mate, I was the coolest kid in school.
I remember getting Pokemon Yellow the day I had to have a bunch of
98.
jabs at the doctors, like immunisations and stuff. And my mum gave me Pokemon Yellow to distract me.
Dude.
And for the rest of the week, I was just like, how the fuck do I get rid of Pikachu? And then I finally realised I could just put him in the fucking Poké Center and get rid of him.
Yeah.
And I was back to playing Pokemon Blue. It was awesome.
So yeah, it's probably around 98, 99 when I got into gaming. Just
Yeah,
because
I'd say that's-
that kind of correlates really well, because that's when we started living in Taiwan as well.
I was nearly in secondary school.
I
Taipei.
was 97 then, if I was 5. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Matt?
I think I got into gaming through my dad, really, because he's always worked... Well, at that point in time, he was working in retail, so he always had access to, like, the newest tech that was coming out, and he'd always give it a go, and because he has a similar interest in technology and new technologies, he's always trying them out. I mean, I called him up the other day on social media, and to be greeted by this video of him using his VR set whilst trying to talk to me. But he's always like encouraged me and Edward to have a go at gaming if he could. Obviously, Mum had a bit of an influence in saying no, they shouldn't be playing it too much. But it was just through him, and that was quite early on in my life. I was still living in London when I first played a video game, so I'd be no older than 5 at that point. And first games I think was Crash Bandicoot 2.
So, PS1?
Yeah, PS1 age, but obviously I hadn't played anything. I just watched my dad on the PC or when he was playing on a console.
And that's 15
the
years ago.
Third
so-
part of this question is giving me a bit of a whoopsie. What was your favourite when you were like? What was the best ever 10 or 12?
It's probably Warcraft 3.
Oh,
Warcraft 3 was baller. Like
best ever game ever, or
No,
like,
just
what the best game to you ever?
when you were 10 or 12 years
Oh.
old, which was 10,
What was
which
the
is
best game
Oh.
ever to you.
which is
ever?
15 to 16 years ago, or actually more than that.
damn, that was a long time.
Exactly.
So I think you were like in early 30s or something.
Ha, ha, ha.
I remember like there was a Finnish game review show called Tilt TV, and they were like giving praises to Warcraft 3. And I was like, okay.
When was I 10? 1990. So 2002. Can you pop up the 2002 for me, sir?
So back.
Yeah, just press back.
That's like sometimes I go back and look at what games came out and was like, why didn't I play those games?
Yeah.
Like Soul Reaver.
I just showed then Simpsons Hit and Run. That was a huge part.
Yo.
Of my
Oh,
childhood.
Kingdom Hearts. Speaking of.
Yeah. I played that, but I gave up on it very quickly because I couldn't figure it out.
Oh, which one?
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I got stuck in the Olympic area because I didn't understand that you had to take the combo off because your long combo made the first level unbeatable in the Olympic stage.
Oh, you got further than me. I made it no further than Wonderland.
Well, you're weird.
Exactly. Tell me something I don't know. But yeah, Simpsons Hit and Run. That was a huge part of my gaming
Cool.
days back then.
He said 10 or 12. I'm taking 12. Battle for Middle Earth.
Yeah.
I fucking loved that game.
When was the Unreal Tournament Game of the Year edition released?
1999? I don't know.
Bloody hell, Half-Life 2 came out in 2004.
Half-Life 2?
Halo 2 came to 2004.
Yeah, see, Halo 1, Halo 2 would definitely be up there because I definitely.
Oh yeah,
spent way
Prince
too
of
long
Persia
playing
Warrior Within was out as
Oh, World of
well.
Warcraft.
I was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
say World of Warcraft appeared.
Well, it started more in 2005 because they had to get more servers.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Rose
I joined
War.
just before TBC dropped. But yeah, no, Battle for Middle Earth, that game was fantastic. I played that
Why
hundreds of times.
Why didn't I play Vampire? Oh yeah, because I was really young.
I actually had Vampire the Masquerade.
I
You know
have it
why I
as-
didn't play it? Couldn't run on my goddamn PC.
No, I have it on here.
Oh, I need to play that.
Well, we can't.
We're
play
doing
it for the
RPGs,
sim.
aren't we? So
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
Yeah.
force asshole to play it.
You don't have to force me to play a game. I'm happy to play a game.
Bloody
Oh,
hell,
Dawn of
Metal
War,
Gear
Dawn of War
Solid.
was 2004.
Metal Gear Solid 3 came out in 2004 as well.
Metal Gear.
Oh, actually, we've got 2004 games up, but Justin was not in 10 or 12. Then.
Star Wars: Knights of the Republic. Oh wait, Dawn of War 3,
Dawn
the
of
first Dawn of
War,
War as
yes.
well.
Do 2000 to 2002.
The early 2000s had a lot of good games coming out for some reason.
Well, yeah, because you look back. Tony Hawk's Underground 2! Oh, boy. Yeah,
Oh, Jack 3 as well. Yeah.
put up 2000 for Justin, because, you know, he's older.
I prefer age like fine wine.
Deus Ex,
Sims.
Diablo 2,
The Sims!
Counter Strike.
Fuck off, did I play The Sims?
Red
I
Alert
fucking
2.
love... The original Sims was great.
The one time I ever got told to play The Sims, I literally got forced to play it. I took the person's family and burnt them to death in the pool.
That's part of the joy of The Sims.
Yeah, that was the only thing I did, and then they told me to stop playing.
I also think Final Fantasy X in 2001 was also good at the time because I used to play that as well.
Aha, Thief 2.
Yeah. that was-
Thief
I,
2 was good.
I played that quite a bit. I used to love
Oh yeah,
Thief
Donald
Series.
Duck Going Quack also I played it but I never got far in it for some reason.
Oh, can you look up when
Oh, Spyro, Age of
Looney
Year of the
Tunes...
Dragon. That was brilliant.
So what?
Looney Tunes, like, Warped in Time or something game? Like, just type in Looney Tunes game.
So, that was one of the things I loved about the Thief games. It's like, I need to land quietly. I'm going to fire some
Oh
moss
my god,
down
there's
there.
such a list.
Water arrows.
Oh, there was a Halloween Muppets game that I can remember as well on the PlayStation 1. I think
No,
it was
that
PS1,
was a
wasn't it?
mirror.
Sorry? Yeah, probably. It wouldn't surprise me. But no,
Oh, there it is,
that
Lost.
I remember playing quite a lot. But
Oh yeah, I
didn't
remember that
realise-
game as well. There was a kind of a game, I can't remember what it was called, where you played as different guys and you were trapped in a thing. Yeah, it must have been this as well, yeah, but never
Bugs
got far.
Bunny, Lost in Time,
Never got-
2000, fantastic game.
Never got far in
You
it.
guys really were too young
I
at
know,
that
it
point,
was
weren't you?
goddamn difficult. What?
Yeah, but this was the age when they actually made games appropriate for children.
They
Like,
still
when-
do.
You hardly ever see anything like this anymore.
8-year-olds should be playing Res Evil. Better than Fear of
Teach them about the horrors of the world, isn't it?
Nah. So,
Anyway, you can't make a game for children now because they're all on Minecraft.
That's true.
Which, to be
Minecraft has
fair-
taken up that market.
It's pretty awesome.
It is a fantastic game. I remember the server we had up, Justin. That was fun.
Minecraft is not an awesome game.
Yeah.
So
It's
did
fun
we?
now, though. It's really not.
Did
Is the
we
reason you don't think it's awesome because you don't think in cubes?
No, it's because I played it when it was the literal like 1.00002 version, and it was goddamn awful. And the only reason it's good now is because the modding community went nuts on it. Like, you can't say a game is good because everyone who's a fan made it better. That doesn't work.
Like World of Warcraft.
No, World of Warcraft
the
wasn't
reason
made good
that's
by
good-
fans. It was made good by the company continuing to add support.
It was
for
made good by there being more than one player.
That's not the same analogy.
That is the same analogy.
No, it's not.
People improved it.
Mods are... No, because you can't call Dawn of War 3 a good game if somebody just makes a mod which improves it.
You can.
No, because Dawn of War 3 is not a good game. But the mod for it is.
Yeah, which runs
There's
on
the
that game.
but, though.
Arma 2, boring ass game. Put DayZ on it, awesome game.
Yeah, but you can't say that Arma 2 is a good game, though, can you?
You can, because it runs on Arma 2. It's Arma 2 with a reskin.
Anyway, I think we.
Talk about goddamn
I think
Raven
I think we've answered the question enough.
We have... Brodo, thank you for your email.
Yeah, thanks.
Feel free to
Thank
send in
you.
another telling us how... Yeah, tell us some silly stories about Jared. We'll read them on air.
Yeah.
Don't,
Well-
because I can't talk about them.
In the form of a question. Anyway, if you want to send emails like that to us, write to us at bbacpodcast@gmail.com.
That's BBAC podcast at gmail.com. I always screw that up because I say at podcast.
Anyway, on to our analysis of 30k armies again.
Woo!
This time,
I've got this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go do something else.
We're doing the best Legion this time.
yeah, the 19th one.
Yeah. The Raven Guard! Who's...
You're gonna make a lot of noise if you
Stop
start moving.
rustling the goddamn bags.
You haven't heard nothing yet.
Yes, we might not have, but bloody recorder might.
I will
micro.
recording then.
Well, let's see.
Just sit the fuck down and wait.
Oh look, all it caught up was Justin's voice.
Sit down and
Talk
wait.
about Raven Guard.
Okay, well, Raven Guard wouldn't tolerate his ass in their ranks.
Well, he's not quite enough.
He's not quite enough.
Mike's not picking me up, is it?
Anyway, so what do you think about them? Because
Well,
you
I
actually
think
play.
the Raven Guard are pretty damn baller, to be honest. They're one of the most interesting legions, from my point of view, because they have, if you think about it, one of the more effective fighting styles.
Sure.
Because, I mean, like, quite a few of the legions just do mass infantry charges and stuff, which would sort of work in Napoleonic and medieval times.
Sure.
But Raven Guard then sort of up it to guerrilla tactics and things like that, which then is like comparing modern
Sorry.
warfare to regimented units. You just run rings around them.
Right.
So it's quite an effective fighting style, and it just works for me.
Alright. Let's look at the special rules. Nah, I can't do that. Anyway, infantry, except Terminators get infiltrated fleet. And jump back spikes and Terminators get fierce charge instead.
Yeah, which is really cool, because you can deploy 1 or 2 units on the table,
Yeah.
like your tank or something, and then the entire army infiltrates, so you do it after your opponent deploys.
I mean. Then someone puts a lot of considerations in there, what that could be mean, but anyway. Flesh over Steel, you have to have more infantry units than tanks.
Makes sense. They lost most of their heavy armor at Istvan, so they tend to run around.
Yeah,
on foot
and
mostly.
they feel like more of a infantry unit army anyway.
That's the thing, like in my Raven Guard, I've got Dreadnoughts, which I very occasionally use, but mostly it's just infantry
Right.
and
Yeah.
a few drum troops. And it's been quite effective so far. I mean, I've done 2 tournaments with them
Sure.
at our local gaming place down here,
Yeah.
and both times I ruffle stomped most people
Yeah.
with just infantry.
Right.
First tournament, the game I lost was I just got destroyed by Medusas firing phosphates at me.
Yeah.
Can only survive that for so long.
Yep.
And second one, I lost because I took a Knight Errant, and my Oath of Moment screwed me hard.
The
So it's the one time I've ever lost Corax in a fight,
yeah.
because I got caught out by some Fire Drake Terminators, and they kind of crumped me.
Okay.
If it hadn't been for that Oath of Moment, I still would have won, because I was like 20 victory points ahead.
Right.
But I couldn't win because I failed the Oath of Moment.
Okay.
Or I got
Yeah.
swashed.
Rite of Wars, Decapitation Strike. All Legionist Astartes get preferred enemy independent characters. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's a really cool rule. As the FAQ that came out for it, it does actually pass along to the independent character squad as well.
Oh, okay.
So you're re-rolling ones to hit and wound with most of your army against, well, pretty much all the squads you're going to want to kill quickly.
Yeah.
It's quite brutal. Good for taking down Primarch bodyguards,
Okay. Can we roll dice for determining turn order?
which is always lovely when you infiltrate. You want that first turn.
Deathstone drop pods become elite choices, and tactical squads, veteran squads, tactical support squads, seeker squads, and heavy support squads can use them as drop pods.
It's a good way to get around the Orbital Route of War's restrictions.
Alright.
But I don't tend to run that Route of War. I tend to use the Recon Company one,
Yeah.
just because I like the rerolls, and Recon squads are both cool, but I like the fact that you get them shrouded for turn
Oh,
one,
right, yeah.
because that combined with Chameleons, 4 up in the open. You
Yeah.
can pretend you're Night Lords.
Yeah. You can only pick one heavy support choice to...
Which does suck, because that limits your ability to kill super heavies and stuff.
Right. You can only have one console type. And it doesn't say unless something else, because you usually get one that's like... You can only take one console, except if it's this, and you can
Yeah.
have multiples of that.
With that Route of War, it's literally, you can only have one console, which does hurt, because consoles are quite good army buffs. Because, I mean, Moritats are really fluffy for Raven Guard.
Sure.
And then you've got, like, Vigilators, which are fluffy as well and really cool, and all these sort of things, which you sort of get limited by that one.
Right. And you can take no fortifications or allied Space Marine detachments. Actually, you could have put that more on the mic, because it kind of works as a joke.
Really?
Yeah, but...
Oh,
yeah.
That was Matt running out of the room to open a
I
side
was
of
trying to
Paris.
be like really.
Yeah, but it's funnier if it goes on the mic, because like someone in the background is that's the reaction people have.
Guess
Usually,
what model he got me for a present?
Uh,
The one I just bought.
A bottle?
No, the model. Guess what? He
Oh,
got-
the bard thing.
yeah. So I'm
Anyway.
returning that.
Liberation Force, which is the other Rite of War.
No
Free-
one talks about that one.
Don't they?
No one will ever run that, because no one is ever going to run Raven Guard as the allies for militia. Or if they do, they have more money than sense, and should just buy more Raven Guard.
Once per game at the beginning of your turn, you can give all models in the army zealots for the remainder of the turn.
I was actually looking at the cult stuff earlier.
Right.
You can actually make them into quite brutal combat troops.
Yeah.
You can get a 2 or 3 point guardsman, basically,
Yeah.
with +1 weapon skill, +1 initiative, and +1 strength.
Yeah.
They just can't take feel no pain saves, which is fine, because they're guardsmen, and you've got 60 of them.
But we'll talk about that when we get to that army at some point.
Yeah, but that would work quite well for them, actually. Give them rerolls to hit in combat.
Slayer of Tyrants, Slay the Warlord, secondary objective, gives you D3 VP victory points instead of 1.
Always nice,
Yeah.
but you just gotta hope your opponent's warlord isn't a Primarch.
Lead by example. If you take allies from the Imperialis militia or warp cults, they gain fearless if they stay within 6 inches of anyone with the Legionis Astartes Raven Guard rule. Ancient Seers don't benefit from it, but their server automata will allow access to 8 phase plasma. Anyway, no, you just get fearless for your allies.
Yeah, think about it. If your Battle Brothers, you can join their squads. So you could put a single Raven Guard character in a massive blob squad and just sit on an objective.
You can also give those the bloody cult guys +3 armor with the grenadiers and some other stuff. So that pretty much Space Marine armor.
Yeah, that could be quite funny.
Ogren brutes, while good on paper, are cost as much as Termies and have no dedicated transport, so pass. Cannot take fortifications or units with immobile or slow and purposeful rules. But yeah. But yeah. That's pretty much it, and it can only be used by loyalists.
And really, no Raven Guard should be traitors, because Matt, we're talking.
Anyway, unique war gear. So Raven's Talons, Lightning Claws, but Cam has Mastercraft and Rending on them.
Yeah, those things are awesome. They make Dark Furies brutal because they get +1 strength on the charge,
Right,
and Dark Fury special roll is +1 initiative on the charge.
sure.
So that makes them strength 5 and initiative 5 with 4 attacks each, rerolling 1 dice to hit and rerolling all dice to wound.
Ah,
They tear through Marines.
yep.
It's like watching a blender hit a puppy.
They have also Infra Visors, which is night vision, but blind tests are taken at initiative 1.
Yeah, that would be useful against Night Lords, but I've never actually used one. Because there's always that risk that someone will find blind.
Night Watchers get night vision.
Yeah.
Cameo line, any intimate character can take this, which grants stealth.
That I take on everyone.
Huh.
And you can take it on Korax, which is awesome.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
Alright. How does it come? Yeah.
It's just a 5-point upgrade, but you can throw it onto Korax, and then if he's in cover,
Yeah.
he gets a 3-up cover save if he's like in ruins.
No, that's
which
cute.
is much better than his 5-up invuln.
Kurz gets 2 up.
Yeah, but Kurz needs all the help he can get.
Fractal Burrow Blade, which is the relic. +1 strength, Rending Power Sword. Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, basically.
And it counts as
wound-
2.
Yeah, every wound it causes in combat counts for 2 as combat res.
Right.
So it is in every single way worse than the standard Blood Angel sword,
Yeah.
which actually does 2 wounds per hit,
Yep.
and everything else, and isn't a relic, so you don't need your opponent's permission to use it.
Yeah.
The only bonus to that one is you don't need to be using it to get the bonus.
Yeah.
So you just have to have it on the model,
Okay.
and then he can still use like a thunder hammer and just wail on people with that.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, unique squads. More Death and Strike squad. They're the lead's choice.
Yeah, they're the uber sneaky recon marines.
Yeah.
The ones that help Korax free the
Deliverance.
slaves. They are basically a recon squad. But,
+1 ballistic skill and impeccable advance.
Yeah. And so the main thing people tend to use them for is give them all a combi flamer and turn 1 do the rending shred thing.
Alright.
So they get shred and rending on their weapons,
Alright.
which, because rending, on a 6 you auto wound and ignore saves,
Yeah.
and with shred, because... No, they get twin link, not shred. And twin link on a template counts as shred,
Yeah.
so you get to reroll to wound. So most people that play Raven Guard do the very douchey thing of taking 10 of them and just cooking your opponent's unit first turn, because you infiltrate, scout, and you're in range to flame them,
Yep.
which is really boring.
Yeah, I could see that.
And it just seems very odd to be like, we're a sneaky ambush army. All the fire! Look at all this fire showing where we are. Oh, now we're standing in front of you. Oops.
Yeah, one of the things is, speaking from experience, 10 twin linked flamers combi with rending just kills just about anything.
Yeah. It's effective, but dull.
Dark Fury Assault Squad.
Are beautiful. They're not only... Both of them have great models,
Yeah.
but the Dark Fury is just hilarious. If you take a unit of 5 and throw it at a 20-man tactical squad, there's a good chance you'll just kill that tactical squad. Because you might not wipe them all out in combat, but you'll do enough casualties to just run them down in the next charge,
Yeah.
which is hilarious.
They got the Raven talent, so...
Yeah, I did, because the Chooser of the Slain is also weapon skill 5 and
Yeah.
has Artificer Armor standard.
Yeah. And precision strikes.
Yeah, we did at the second tournament thing. I was up against a Death Guard player,
Right.
and 4 of my Dark Furies got mown down in the first turn of combat
Yeah.
by this douche with a scythe. But the Chooser Slain killed him, and then proceeded to kill enough of the tactical squad in the next turn
Yeah.
that I won the combat, and he ran down 40 guys on his own as he just tabled 2 tactical squads as they ran off.
Lovely.
So he definitely earned himself back some points.
Yeah. They get 5-up cover save when they come from deep strike, and then +1 initiative when they charge.
Yeah, downside is if you deep strike them, the cover save's not going to keep them alive. They will just get shot off the table.
Right. Darkwing gunship.
Don't really know much about that because I've never used it, but it's basically just a
Storm Eagle with two twin linked last cannons, one twin linked heavy bolter, outflank stealth for a 3-up jink. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for the fact it's harder to kill because you can jink with the cover bonus. But again, it would work really well in a decapitation strike, especially if you're using like Alvarex.
Right.
But we'll come to him later.
Yeah. Well, after this.
Yeah, it's not really the way I play my Raven Guards. I haven't really paid much attention to the flyer,
Sure.
but it's got to have some uses. So just
Yeah.
probably mainly useful for just dropping off a combat unit
Sure.
somewhere. So if you could put Dark Furies in it, it's a good way to get them across the table without them having to deep strike.
Special characters then. Strike Captain Alvarex Maun.
He's really cool because he gives you buffs to who goes first. He gives you buffs to reserves, especially if you're using flyers and drop pods. If he's in a flyer or a drop pod, it automatically shows up turn 2.
Yeah.
And he's got a Stratios pattern Nightfall Vox,
Yep.
which is basically a longer range Nuncio Vox.
Yeah.
And best of all, he's basically a really budget Praetor. He's got slightly worse weapon skill and attacks, but he still allows you to take a Rite of War.
Yeah.
So it's really good for smaller point games where you just want to ambush people
Right.
and traipse around with this not super killy but quite super supporty character.
Okay. So they got Morta Prime, Cadus Nex.
He's quite funny.
Yeah.
I think his guns are called like Crow Death or something like that. He's an ex-murderer that was freed by Corax to fight,
Yeah.
and he became the first Moritat. And he runs around with 2 Fulcrum hand cannons. So
Sure.
he's like the bane of Mechanicum because they're bolt guns with rending, but they're AP4. So they're shit against Marines, but great against Mechanicum.
Yep.
But the thing he's got going for him is his ballistic skill 6, so he's always got a chance to keep his chainfire going.
Oh yeah.
And whilst he can infiltrate, you don't bother infiltrating him because you use his special deployment thing,
Yeah.
where you drop him within 18 inches of an enemy unit, and he
Right.
can be as close as he wants. And then he just sits there and then jumps out and opens fire on them. He's
Okay.
like the 30k version of Slimearbo.
Sure.
And he's still got rad grenades.
Oh, okay. Corvus Corax.
He's a badass. He's easily, hands down, the best Primarch in the game.
Sure.
Wetty.
Alright, you Gilliman lover.
I do love Gillen.
Um,
He's my spiritual liege, and yours as well.
no, he isn't.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, Corax is awesome. He does what Korak should. He hits like a fucking freight train, but he doesn't take it back because he's a little bit squishy because he's quite fast.
Yeah, he's got not a great invulnerable save.
Yeah, he's only got 5 up invuln, but he can put out a silly number of attacks because he's got 6 attacks base.
Yeah.
You can get +1 for charging.
Mm-hmm.
With his specials, he gets +1 strength and initiative on the charge. So strength 7, initiative 8 on the charge.
Right.
And obviously with his war gear,
Yeah.
because he fights with like a whip and his claws and all that, it's just lumped into one thing where you pick his fighting style.
Yeah.
So every combat phase you pick a different fighting style, or you can pick the same one.
Yeah.
And you got one which gives you +D3 attacks. You got one that gives you Jared
Sorry.
Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got one fighting style that gives you +D3 attacks. You've got another one that gives you +3 strength
Yeah.
to armor pen, or you just wound everything on a 5+.
Sure.
So you're never unable to kill something.
Yeah.
And the other one gives anyone hitting you -1 to hit.
Yes.
And if you combine that with his 2 Archaeotech pistols
Yeah.
and his Hammer of Wrath and all of that, he can get about 15 wounds off a turn.
Okay.
He can do a silly amount of damage just
Yeah.
out the gate, and he's quite fast because of a jetpack.
Yeah, and he's got 2 Archaeotech pistols.
Yeah, and he's also, he can pull shenanigans with Deep Strike.
Yeah.
He never, the only Deep Strike mishap he can ever get is delayed,
Yeah.
unless you're against Custodes, where they will fuck you up.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, if he's ever stuck in a fight, he's not going to win. As long as he's got a higher initiative than someone at the beginning of the combat phase or movement phase, he can just
Yeah.
jump out of the fight, goes off the table.
Didn't have that rule that if he's not the closest model or unit to you. You have to take a leadership check to shoot him.
Yeah, Shadow Lord rule.
Yeah.
If you're not a demon, psyker, or another Primarch, if Corax isn't the closest model, then you only ever hit him on 6s,
Oh, okay.
and you can't fire 10 plays at him. You basically snapshot him,
Alright.
which mitigates the 5-up invuln against shooting quite well, as long as you position him well.
Okay.
But really, you just want to avoid him getting shot and stick to cover.
Alright. That's pretty much all we can... Is that all we want to talk about?
I could go on about Raven Guard for a while, but I think Jared might cry.
I'm fine. I'm reading a codex for AdMech, so I'm good.
He says reading, he's just looking at the pictures.
They're very nice pictures, actually. The art in this is quite nice,
Yeah.
to be fair.
Mm.
That's what I've been finding recently is the fact that they have dropped so many codexes in 8th. I've not been keeping up. I've not been reading them for the
Lore.
material. Yeah. I've mostly just been like, oh, what are the rules for this? Okay, cool. And I'm disappointed in myself about that because
To be
I
fair,
used to love the fluff.
I have an entire Dark Angels army, and I was like, I'm really excited for the Dark Angel Codex. And I still don't have the Dark Angel Codex. I know there are a couple of changes to the fluff, but I kind of just lost interest in it when it was like, and the lion is not coming out in this. So there's very little point in me getting it.
That were a mistake. The lion would be a great model to drop.
Yeah. If they dropped the lion, it would be fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And we'd finally have someone in the Imperium that could stand up to Gilliman and give him a damn good slapping. And then Gilliman might stop being such a little bitch.
Yeah,
Well,
but
the podcast's
which
running
Primarch is
long.
alive.
The lion's alive.
Yeah, but I
Stasis
don't
Field.
think
Yeah.
Corvus is. Is Corvus Corax?
We don't know where
Corax
he
is
is.
alive. He went
Somewhere.
to the eye.
Yeah.
He's not dead.
Oh, he's probably dead.
The
He'll
cons
probably
in
died like a little bit.
the cons in the webway somewhere. Possibly.
To be fair, you know who did die like a little bitch? Gilliman. To Fulgrim.
Oh, except he came back though, didn't he?
Yeah, with the help of an Eldar waifu.
Well, wouldn't you want an Eldar waifu?
Not one that needs a cat to be useful in the game.
The cat is cute though.
The cat is cute, but you need a Grinx. I'd rather just take the Grinx than the Vrain.
Well, we've gone about 2 hours now.
Yeah!
Made it. Okay.
So we'll shelve that discussion about AFED 440k again.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
We'll do that next time. We're gonna,
Possibly, if we remember.
we'll start from the beginning with it. We're going to
Yeah, that'll
quiz
be the-
Paolo on why he doesn't like 40k now.
Yeah,
and
forget
all
the
that.
banter intro. It's going straight in. It's like, Paoli, what do you think about 8th?
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know.
Just full on interrogation. We should need to, I know that the listeners won't see it, but we need a swing lamp and a desk.
Plenty of cider, anyway.
Yeah.
But now we're going to do a Knights of the Old Republic playthrough.
We'll start one, yeah.
We'll start one with Muggins here on my left.
Oh
as
yeah,
the
because they can
controller.
see who's on your left.
Now they know.
Knowing is half the battle.